On a scale from 1 to 10, how bad does getting old suck?
Definitely 10.
Yeah. I
Dude.
think getting old is worse than dying.
I think you're right. I'm walking. I've been doing my walks. Mm-hmm. I've been walking about 2.5 miles every day. Mm-hmm. Started to do my morning walk in the rain. I'm going the extra mile.
Nice.
Jane is out there standing in the rain without an umbrella because she's in the gifted class, but she didn't have sense enough to bring a fucking umbrella to the bus stop.
I've got one of those too.
I pass her as I'm walking, and I go to look back at her. Back's fucked up. My back's fucked up. Like my upper back. Like I've tweaked it somehow. So, I don't know. Laura's got me doing all these exercises. Like I got to hug myself and shake this way and shake that way. I look like a fucking backup dancer for In Vogue.
Bobby, you should be hugging yourself every day anyways.
Yeah, that's a fact. I could use a little bit more self-love, probably. I wanted to say, I did the, I've been getting, I've been saying that I've been getting a little bit of comments recently that have been rubbing me the wrong way. This
on YouTube.
Yeah, this week's no exception. I will say that, so here's the thing. The coronavirus video that I did.
Loved it. It was great.
Thank you. Put a lot of research into it. Mm-hmm. I didn't get into any conspiracy theories.
Right.
Because that's not my fucking job.
Right. And it's not, you were like talking about facts.
I'm just talking about facts.
And things you know.
Yeah. And what's being reported.
Yeah.
Like not by Alex Jones, but, what's being reported by news sources and infectious control disease, all of these. That's what I'm interested in. Could China be fudging the numbers? Sure. Mm-hmm. Sure. But I
don't know that.
Correct. But I don't. So when I get comments that are like, oh, I see MSN News must be sponsoring your reviews now. The 14,000 affected. LOL. It's probably more like 14 million. It's like, okay.
Probably.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't belittle my facts.
With your
probablys.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not,
at least your numbers you can find printed somewhere.
Right. And I'm not saying that they're right, but I'm saying that here's the source. This is what I'm reporting on.
As far as we know.
Yeah, I'm not could the conspiracy theories be true? Sure. But that conversation is not about the conspiracy of the coronavirus. It's what possible risk does it pose? What's going on? And how does it affect what we're buying?
Because it's a different kind of video. Because you can have a speculation video where we just discuss, like, what
Correct.
could be happening.
Correct.
But that video is not that.
It's not that. Wash your hands, shit like that. Regular shit. Like just, So anyway, the other thing that bothered me about that was, this is aside from the viewership. I did 2 hours of research for all that stuff. Finding the sites, compiling it all, trying to figure out, going to, the Center for Infectious Control, whatever that one was, and the World Health, and, going to all these little different places that I could find information and sort of compiling it together, writing it down, taking notes, et cetera, doing all this shit. Video ends up taking me about 6 hours to make. Put it together, post it, publishes on Saturday morning. Not suitable for ads.
What?
Why?
I guess because I'm talking about the coronavirus, and there's so many people out there probably saying China's lying to you, and the American government created it, and they're gonna, like that. It's all that shit. So it's that shit that prevented me from being able to monetize that video.
That's bullshit.
It's not completely demonetized, but it's like not suitable for most advertisers is how it is officially put in. And I even requested a manual review, and they manually reviewed it and then said, "Yep, still not." And I don't know if it's just because I mentioned the fucking thing.
Yeah, they probably just have a flag on the whole thing.
A flag on a play? Flag on the play.
So to speak.
That could be a conspiracy theory right there. They don't want people to talk about it.
Talk to him. Yeah, and then to Mr. Damon, if you would, I don't know you, but you don't know us. If you would like to defend your position, I would be more than happy to phone you in. I'm telling you right now, the statement that you made shows how much you don't know us. And I'll leave it at that. You don't know anything about us personally. Okay? With that, let's get out of the fucking bad space. How was Nerd Weeks? Let's see. You got coffee first. So, Joe, how is your Nerd Week?
Slow. as it's had been and will be for several weeks because of work. But caught up with Fate Grand Order anime. The game I play, I don't know if you noticed, I play on the phone sometimes. And
I have noticed that.
For at least the last year and a half, it's the same game. Mm-hmm. It's from an anime series I like. There you go, hug yourself.
Yeah, I'm supposed to do it every half hour.
And Krista just got into the game. She always thought that looks boring. I'm like, yeah, it's probably not for you. I never push people, you know? Like,
right.
If it's for you, if it's for you, it's not for you, it's not for you. So she's been into Fate also because the character designs are cool. Like you said, like they look cool.
Yeah.
Right? Like you never can say anime characters don't look cool.
100%.
And the new series came out, just dropped. So we started watching that, and she wanted to try the game. Now she's fucking hooked. Last thing before bed, first thing in the morning.
Really?
Got to get the dailies done. But it's great. Like we just last night we watched the anime, and then we just sat in bed and played the game together on the phone all night. What else? Trying to get some spray paint. Duplicolor make some awesome metallic spray paint, but they don't sell it at Home Depot. I have to go to the auto parts store by Chris's house.
Yeah.
The Advanced Auto Part?
Yeah, Duplicolor does make some.
Duplicolor metal cast.
Yeah, it's right next to the comic shop that Bobby ran out of business.
Well, it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just the auto parts store.
Right.
But yeah, I bought some other paints from Home Depot, and they tried not to sell it to me because I went to the
you're a big huffer.
I went to the checkout line, and like I guess every time you try to buy spray paint, someone comes up to you, and they're like, they usually just pressing the code. This lady was like, "How old are you?" I'm like, 38. I was like, "Well, nice try. You should have tried 28." And then she didn't want to sell it to me. I'm like, wait. And I gave her my driver's license, and she had to like looked at it for a minute. I was like, okay, I guess.
Wow.
She said, keep doing what you're doing. I'm like, just lotion, man. She's like, yeah, whatever that is.
And this is for paint?
Yeah, spray paint.
Yeah, so if you buy spray paint, actually Walmart.
Because I bought 4 cans at the
same.
same time. Maybe that's weird.
I think Home Depot does it. Walmart doesn't do it because I use Rust-Oleum mostly.
Yeah, that's the stuff I use. Rust-Oleum is great. It's very durable. That's what I like about it.
I feel like anytime that you get a hard time for buying paint or like Robitussin or whatever the shit is from the and they look at you sideways, you should just show them your teeth. Like no, look, I'm good.
Or just have paint on your face just to fuck with them. Like it's fine.
Look, one cavity, 96. Right here.
When I worked at the auto parts store, I had a guy that come in. He always say, "Hey, what do you got in here for $3?" He's a homeless guy. I remember one time he had on it was like a puffy vest kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
that had failed him miserably, and like he was leaving a trail of synthetic feathers everywhere.
Oh, free to geese.
But he would always come in, and he'd always come, "What do you got in here for $3?" I'm like, I mean, what are you looking for, man? He'd always end up buying spray paint though. But he always came with this like plan to not. And he'd come back a couple hours later. "Hey, y'all got any more of that paint? Some really good paint." He'd have it on his face.
Like, what the fuck are you painting? A whole can of paint?
And he'd pay me, and he'd buy like we sold those like Lipton green teas. It's like in a Coke bottle. And I go to give him his change back, and he said, "Don't put that silver money in my hand." Like, okay. So I just lay it on the counter, and he'd pick it up, but he wouldn't let me put the money in his hand. He'd take the bills if they were bills.
I wonder if that's like some
weird
tradition thing.
I don't know.
Vampire thing.
There's like weird traditions I found every now and then. Like there was a guy that used to go to Lexington Market all the time, and him and his buddies would be there when I was there. I used to go almost every Saturday morning for a while when I was a kid. My dad used to go down all the time, and he would get oysters, but him and his whole crew,
raw oysters
with a hard-boiled egg. And like, I mean, in the oyster,
I'm like, what?
Yeah, and the oyster place had the hard-boiled eggs ready, so it must be a thing for some slice of life. But yeah, it was like a thing.
I've never heard of that.
I hadn't
either.
either.
I love raw oysters. We eat raw oysters on pretty regularly.
I hadn't either. And
hard-boiled egg. Do they slice it up or what?
I can't remember in my head if it was one of those little. Dude, I used
You're talking
to
about raw egg with raw oysters. Now talk to me.
Yeah, no, snomlet. But I used to love when my dad would have a hard-boiled egg. I'm not a big hard-boiled egg person. I like the white part, not the yellow part so much. But I like the.
I see.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I like the white part of the egg. The not the yellow part of the egg. It's just but I celebrate the yellow part of the egg on scrambled eggs, and I'm very versatile. But the little, you remember the thing like big in the 80s had like the little plastic tray with the little slicer thing, and you cut it and it would slice it into
got
like
a wire.
this. Yeah.
Is that a mandolin?
Dude,
Is that what that is?
That shit was so fun. Like when I was a kid, it felt like Christmas when I got to operate one of those things. I was like, what? Of course.
But you don't want to eat it. You just,
Yeah, no, I didn't want anything to do with it.
it's just like your kids with making sushi.
But salt, pepper, Old Bay. You know,
So I saw.
Obey goes on it.
I know.
You can use Obey instead of paprika for for deviled eggs.
I think Dante posted this. Is that if somebody from Maryland says they're going to put their own twist on a recipe, they're just going to put Obey in.
Nice. So yeah, spray paint. I'm trying to finish these sorts for this weekend. It's Katsucon this weekend. I'm actually going.
Oh yeah,
I actually took the whole weekend off.
Is that the one in
nice.
DC, or where is that?
No,
one?
there's I think so. Maybe the Gaylord, the National Harbor.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a nice convention center where a lot of anime conventions. And yeah, it happens now. It's just a nice area. If you've never been, never visit, just take a weekend and go and have a walk around the casinos there. Succotash is a great fucking restaurant. They have great cake.
Suffering succotash, am I right?
Can you do the voice?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, great restaurant. But they have a lot of restaurants and shit down there. And it's a nice view. They have a big, what are those things? Ferris wheels.
Okay.
Over the water.
Nice.
But yeah, I need my cats fed 4 times. I was wondering if Jaina would be interested in making $20.
Yeah, I'm sure she would.
Get
And I'm sure she'd do it for free as well.
no. Get them to do a task and get money for it. That's the thing.
I hear you.
You know?
So in my head, let me tell you how this strikes me in my head, right? This is where Jaina's going to fuck up.
Oh.
Because this is going to make me have a test for her. And my wife accuses me of always giving tests.
It sounds about right.
Yeah. I don't think
Just like Christmas every year, she said.
I don't think she's wrong. So here's the thing. In my head, if she does that and then says I can't accept the $20, she deserves the $20. If she takes the $20 and puts it in her pocket and says my pleasure, she's disappointed me.
Why? I'm offering her a job.
It's about the principle of it. Like it's about I remember as a kid saying like doing odds and ends for my dad's friends when and saying I can't take your money, just because it was instilled in me that like.
You never went to mow lawns for money or shovel snow for money?
All right, so let's address the lawn mowing thing. My lawn as a kid was smaller than this room. So most people just plug their lawnmower in outside and just zip, 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 if they had a lawnmower. So there wasn't a big lawn mowing business in the neighborhood that I grew up in. And the snow shoveling was pretty much the same. It was probably from this wall to that wall and half the width. So that was all I was responsible for. So there wasn't big money in that either. But yeah, I would just, in my head, just me and her, if she says, no, I was happy to do it, then I'm going to be proud. And if she says, thanks, no tip, I'm going to be disappointed.
No tip.
All right, continue.
And that's all. I'll interrupt if I think of something. But I've been seeing random bits and stuff from Wonderfest. Is there RC?
So do we want to talk about that now? 'Cause I have it in the notes. We can talk about it now.
I mean, does this show has a format?
Look,
it's and the stupid looking fucking white tiger.
Tigertron.
Tigertron,
RC,
great name.
and was there another one that was revealed?
Probably.
That's the only 2 I saw. There
Yeah,
was
I
pictures.
can't
There was
remember.
posters of them in it.
Yeah.
Right?
So
What is it called? Planograms? Is that what they're called, Chris? You're in the business.
It would not be a planogram, but I don't know.
I guess Tigertron is a new mold, but it seems like it borrows a lot of the engineering from Cheetor.
I would think so. They're both it's just
Yes, but
kind of the same
Tigertron's
thing.
bigger, like significantly bigger.
It's easy to scale things up and down nowadays.
Right. I think Tigertron looks great. I'm just disappointed that he's 50.
What do you mean?
He's MP 50.
Oh, yeah, because you would think it'd be something.
You would think it would be like
They would have waited for Prime to
bam,
be 50 or
yeah, like
pull the fans'
fucking-
toys and done them out of order or some
fucking
shit, right?
50 here. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't seem like Tigertron is a 50.
Tiger Tracks?
These Tiger
Tiger
now
Tracks.
have they done Tiger Tracks?
That'll be a different story.
New mold.
Yeah, new
Yeah,
mode.
a redesigned
yeah.
Lambo mode.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is he's big and
I don't even think he's big in Beast Wars. Like I feel like if they did Rhinox,
aren't people happy about him?
I guess
I can't tell.
I guess, but I don't feel like he's one of the main. Like there's who's left. That's a big deal. Rhinox,
Rat Trap.
the Waspinator. And
There's a red looking Waspinator. A red one that looked like Waspinator.
maybe.
I think it's an ant. Correct me if I'm wrong, people. I don't.
Don't correct me. But like, it just seems like a Rhinox or a Waspinator would have been a better 50.
Oh no, the bird wolf. That one is. I know
That's
that.
Silverbolt.
Girls love him. I know that because I've dated girls that don't even like Transformers and like that guy.
I also think that like Blaster would have made a good 50. I feel like, I mean, you know what I wanted for 50. So maybe I'm biased. Maybe I'm bringing my own baggage. I wanted a devastating announcement.
Think this shows us exactly that. Like, we wanted to be like, reaffirm G1, Big Bang, 50. They're like, here's the Tigertron.
Yeah.
You know, and from Beast Wars. And that shows me all I need to know about where Masterpiece is going.
Right.
Despite RC coming out.
Yeah. And I think that even like, even had it been a Rhinox, it would have made more sense to me. I just feel like Tigertron is an especially weird choice.
Yeah, I'm sure it's an easy choice for them, but they could have made it a 51, right?
Right, exactly. And I'm saying that like even if they would have done like Skids, I would have been like, that's a weird choice for MP50. You know? Like I would have been like, what are you doing?
But it's special, I guess.
You know, G1 Beast Wars aside, I would have just been like, that's an odd choice for 50. RC to me,
could RC been 50?
RC looks like somebody doing a Grievous cosplay or something, like where like the person is behind her and it's like controlling like the movements of the. And look, I don't think she looks bad, but
I don't think she looks great either, though.
But I don't think she looks great. I think the Fans Toys one looks better.
Yeah.
I'm sure this one will perform better, no doubt.
But it's going to be better looking, better painted? I don't know.
I won't be buying it.
I'm sure it's better engineering, probably.
I won't be buying either. And which kind of leads me to another.
I mean, you're not a Beast Wars guy, first of all, and like I don't know. Actually, you have replaced Optimus and Megatron, but you think they're better, not because they're Takara.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I didn't replace it with a Takara Optimus.
Oh, right.
Or the Magic Square.
Yeah.
And one day I might pay Sean Love to hook that up, you know, to make it pop. But yeah, I while we're on the subject, real quick, I don't want to divert too much, but
we never talked about Transformers here.
Back to the comments thing.
Oh.
So here's another comment I've been getting recently. And I think it's because it's a new. I'm getting a new. It's like a new wave, it's like a new generation of comics. Like it's like Generation Z.
Are they new listeners?
I don't know.
Maybe.
So like, my numbers have been going up a little bit. So maybe.
And people are cycling in and out of hobbies all the time.
Yeah.
So it's more than likely. Yeah.
Oh, you would know about that.
Definitely. I got more cycles than the Tour de France.
Whoa. Whoa. So here's one I've been getting recently. That I don't buy toys anymore, like in kind of derivatives.
What?
Derivatives thereof.
What?
Well, so they're saying that because I've been borrowing so many Transformer toys. But let me try to find. I sent a picture of this comic because I think I deleted it.
So you've always borrowed the Legend stuff because you don't get it.
That's a fact.
Beast Wars stuff.
Beast Wars stuff because you don't get it.
Yep.
And I think you are. I'd say 90% happy with everything you have. There's very little you plan on replacing, and that's a lot of what's coming out is just, replacement versions of stuff.
Yeah, there's
and you're just getting a lot of non-Transformers.
And I think what irritates me. It's kind of the same thing. Okay, here it is. So, and now he says like this is a joke, but he says I just knew he was going to say this is on loan to me from In fact, the next time he does a video review and says the item is his, I will spit my coffee out in shock. Somebody else said, and he's just joking too. Says he's just joking. Luckily, I've got a friend every time I want to review something to stay relevant.
Wow.
Just kidding. Do you still play with them when they're on loan? So, like, here's what bothers me about that. Mm-hmm. I could easily not do that.
You don't even like to do really like
like I do it as it's not that I'm falling on the sword, because like I'm like it does keep my channel moving, right? Mm-hmm. So there's truth in that, but I'm doing it as a service. I'm doing it as to show, like, look, other people are buying this shit. I know you're buying it. I know you're interested in what I have to say on it. Here it is. And we'll go through all of this shit. I will have a dining room full of boxes that my wife has given me shit about every fucking day so that I can do this shit so that you can get an idea of where it sits on my scale of good or bad.
And you still have to pay for shipping and shit?
Correct. Sometimes people hook me up on the shipping. I will say that. Every like sometimes people will be like, hey man, here's the for shipping back, which is very appreciated. Mm-hmm. But I don't ask either. You know what I mean? I don't say like, hey man, what's up with this shit? You know what I mean? Like, and to be fair, like monetization wise, usually I spend more on the shipping than the video earns.
Yeah.
Like that's very common. Or they break about even. So it's not for money, you know? So like, that's what's frustrating about it is like, I'm sitting here and talking to you guys about how stressed I am with the amount of stuff I got to get done. I'm fucking working day and night to fucking get the shit done. And then people fucking don't appreciate it because I didn't buy it. You know, and I'm not lying about it. Like I'm being upfront. Like, look, it's not mine. Would you rather me say, look, this is mine, make you feel better? Like I don't fucking buy this shit.
Yeah.
I buy what I want.
Sponsored by companies.
I've said it that time and time again. I'm only buying what I want. I'm fucking done with the rat race of Transformers. Like I'm gonna buy the shit that I want from my collection. And if I can have the opportunity to look at something to broaden the scope, then perfect. If not, that's fine too. But
and you buy stuff regularly.
Correct. It's just not what they want to see.
Yeah.
You know. So like.
No, they're not watching those particular videos.
Right.
If they're just watching Transformers stuff, they wouldn't see your Hot Toys or your Star Wars or whatever.
Right. And I mean, like, so the Gravestone is the last Transformer piece I bought, the XTB Motormaster.
Okay.
But mine was taking so long to get here that I hit somebody up and said, can I take it yours for the people to see it?
For the people.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, and then I get shit for it. It's like, man, fuck you guys. You know, like, that's like... Like it's starting to wear on me again. It's just because it's a different type of comment. It's something new.
It's the same thing.
I'll get numb to it eventually, I'm sure.
And it's the same thing to the person you're saying earlier. They just don't know. Mm-hmm. They don't know you. They don't know us. They just don't know. Mm-hmm. It's just from a small segment. Like I said, a small segment of not even what you make. It's just a small segment of what they watch.
And like so, like and the reason why I know is getting into me is because my gut reactions upon it now are becoming different. You know what I mean? Where like,
well, you want to attack?
Yeah. Like, because sometimes I read comments, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, let me star this one so I can talk about it on Dummies, and I just delete it. You know, but like some of these comments, I'm like, you know, like my initial reaction is like, motherfucker, you couldn't afford what I buy. Jesus. Why don't you worry about your rent? Like, and that's not fair either.
Yeah,
you know,
but that's just a fair reaction.
That's an emotional, it's an emotional, angry reaction.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why your upper back's so tense.
Yeah.
You need to hug yourself some.
Every time that shit happens, I always think about LL Cool J's I'm that type of guy. He's like, you're that type of guy to say my lower back is killing me. And I'm like, fuck, man, I'm that type of guy now? Shit.
Exactly.
Anyway, continue.
What was I saying? Transformers.
Oh yeah, there's the WonderCon shit. I mean, I think that's good.
Yeah, and there are there's a series of statues that's announced that I'm very interested in. I haven't seen any prototype, but they've announced it. It's from one of my favorite manga series, Claymore.
Right. One thing I did want to mention from WonderCon is that Flames Toys is doing Arkham.
I thought when you posted that picture, that prototype picture, I thought it was Players Kai because it looked like
it does have a Players Kai swag to it.
But then I saw the bottom, I was like, oh,
so
Flames.
when I cropped that, I very purposefully put the logo in there. It's an interesting move. I
wonder if they'll do any non-mech stuff. That's my...
Well, if that's their bag, I mean,
right.
that's what they're good at.
Right, I'm just saying from my pockets.
What do you think scale-wise?
Do you need another pocket?
No, I don't.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it may be a good thing.
But contrary to popular belief, Joe, I like to buy shit. What were we saying? With scale?
1/6?
You think it's a 1/6 scale figure? 12 inches? Or is it going to be something weird like 10 inches?
I'm going to guess closer to what they are already doing with Transformers.
Which is what, 10?
About 8 to 10.
8 to 10.
1/7 is a popular. Or are they? I don't. Where are they based? Are they a Chinese company or what? Because like if it's
so, it's the same company. All balled together with 1,000 Toys and Sentinel. So it's Japanese. Okay. I'm pretty sure.
So 1/7 and 1/10 are very popular scales.
Yeah.
Like there's some stuff I'm looking at now that's going to be coming out soon is in the 1/7 scale.
Yeah. I think it looks great.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what it looks like in color and whatnot.
But they won't have.
I mean, what do you think the price point is?
$400.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Do you think it's worth it over a Players Kai if a Players Kai is $100 for the same thing?
Probably not. Probably not, depending on the piece. Because like some of this Player's Kai shit looks like trash.
No, for that particular one we saw at the
Arkham Knight.
Yeah, Arkham Knight, yeah. Because that looks like something Player's Kai could do that looks just the same.
Yeah, it won't be built as well.
Right.
It won't be engineered as well.
Right.
But it'll probably look as good
That's
on a
what I'm
shelf.
saying.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
would
That's
you-
what gets tricky about it.
If that's the case, would you choose $100 Player's Kai? Would you choose the $400 Flame Toys for what you're using it for? What most of us are using it for.
Honestly, I think it would probably have to do with the intentions of the line. So if Play Arts was like, look, we're running 20 of them, I'd be like, yeah, I'm in on Play Arts. You know, if Flame Toys was like, look, we're just doing the robot ones, that's an easy pass. You know, or like, and not to say that Arkham Knight is a robot, but he lends himself more to that look. So I don't know if Flames Toys is capable. I mean, I'm not underestimating them.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen what they can do.
But I don't know what they can do with human, figures. Like I know they've done Iron Man stuff, but even that looks like a robot.
Yeah.
I
mean, so does Arkham Knight. So.
Correct.
Yeah, it's in there.
So like, it would take a lot for me to kind of jump on board. At $400, you're so close to quarter scale territory.
That's what I'm saying.
That like, you got to really like. So I think, for instance, Tarn and that IDW Star Saber are the perfect examples because these are characters that like don't get made a whole lot.
You won't see statues.
You're not going to see statues of them. They're fucking beautifully done, and like it's a big check box.
But a Batman character,
Batman is going to be trickier.
It's going to be a statue somewhere down the line.
The world is your oyster when it comes to Batman and fucking Luke Skywalker. So or Darth Vader, you know what I mean?
Yeah. How many Luke Skywalkers do you have?
Exactly. So it does get trickier.
And I was telling you guys the pricing for the shipping was announced for the Skull Knight. One of the statues I would have wanted quarter scale as a knight on a horse. It's the same series as the Black Knight thing that I have, Berserk.
Hold on one second, guys. My baby needs some help. All right, I'm sorry, cut you off, Joe.
The shipping price for this thing, economy, 1 to 3 weeks, is $650. The normal shipping is $900.
And this is Prime One?
Prime One Studios.
So what if you order it through does BBTS?
I don't see it up.
Okay.
But BBTS, I mean,
that might be an option.
$4 shipping. It would be, the base price will be higher with taxes and,
just saying,
base price.
do the math against.
Exactly.
I think you'll be.
But I'm wondering. I'm not getting it as of right now. I just can't.
What character is it?
A Skull Knight from Berserk. It goes with the giant black statue I have.
Yes,
Black Knight statue. It's the same series, so it's just as beautiful and it's on horse. It's quarter scale knight on horse. I understand it's huge.
Yeah,
but at $600 something, you could just get a different quarter scale statue.
I think you could buy a horse, an actual quarter horse.
Quarter horse.
Yeah,
a miniature pony.
Yeah, and you just dress up like the character, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, and the normal shipping is $900 plus, so it's crazy.
The swords the swords I helped you with the guards on. The same swords.
Yeah. I mean they're coming along, and that's great. I've gotten much better at spray painting since I started airbrushing. I used to be shit at spray painting. I thought I was going to airbrush both of these things.
I need this guy to try out spray painting now.
Yeah.
So he's not like one spot. 4 seconds later. Be fine.
Thin coat every 5 minutes for 4 coats will do you good.
Yeah.
Who's got that kind of time, Joe?
I was watching a video.
I mean, no, seriously, that's my problem right now. Like I was saying, I have to finish these stuff by Friday night because I'm going to the convention Friday night. I'm leaving tonight to go to work until Friday, so I have to finish those today somehow. And with spray painting, it's hard because you have to wait for them at least an hour.
It's not helpful here
in the weather.
So I have to airbrush them. I could airbrush them, but the paint won't be as strong. They might scrape.
Right.
Because they're going in the scabbard.
Oh, okay. So I was watching a video. Scott was painting a Nerf gun or something, but is this stuff called Rub and Buff? All jokes aside, have you heard of this stuff?
Yeah, it's metallic.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually try to pick some of that up.
I think you have to seal it after you're done, though. That's the thing, because it's wax. It's basically it's wax.
Okay,
so you rub it.
What's up with that Rub and Buff?
So I've used
Who's got 20 on the Rub and Buff?
I knew it was coming. I've used a wood wax before.
Y'all gotta stop.
We're talking shopping. This guy has no idea what we're talking about.
He doesn't. He won't even say the word filament. Tyler knows what I'm talking about.
Future Floor wax is good. The thing is, metallics, man, like it's hard because when you top coat metallic, it's just doesn't look
It takes
the same.
away from it.
Yeah, even if you use the gloss coat or whatever, it just looks shiny.
Right.
It doesn't look
You
metallic
don't get
anymore.
that. Yeah, it's hard to do.
That's why I'm happy with these spray paints. And I'm going to get the dupli-color stuff because like those spray paints are tough. They're meant for like
It's
engines,
automotive. It's
like
automotive,
literally
yeah.
paint on engines. So like
Right.
this should last me taking it and then putting it out, so to speak.
Right.
With the wood wax
But yeah, rubber buff is great for foam.
for orgasms.
Oh, I bet it's
Dude,
great for fun.
I've been having trouble sleeping. I think it's because I'm just stressed.
Uh-huh.
And like, dude, last night I jerked off 3 times before I could get that sleep release. You know, like
Oh, yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
after
yeah.
sometimes you can't sleep, you jerk off, and you're like,
Of course.
Thought
3 times.
I thought one of your arms was a little bigger today.
yeah.
You had to do less reps with the right tomorrow.
That's right.
Or you left because you're a mouse man.
Yes, mouse man.
Mouse
who
man.
was it that?
That's great.
Who was it? I'm gonna out him. Someone
You probably
said.
tell somebody's age by which hand they.
Well,
Yeah.
someone said when the internet came along,
Yeah.
they just started using the mouse left-handed.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
That's wild.
I think it was. Well, I shouldn't say their name since they messaged us.
Speaking of mice, mouses, mises, however you say it,
Mises.
I've got carpal
Mises.
tunnel in my left hand, and it really bothers me when I type a lot.
Yeah, my right.
And I don't know why I didn't think about this. I got a fucking mouse. It's a lot easier now.
Yeah.
I'm, with my right hand, thank you very much. So
But yeah, I was saying, rubber buff is great for if you're making foam stuff, like foam props,
Yeah.
swords, and armor. Like it stays in really well because it's slightly porous.
right on. Yeah, I need to run to Home Depot for the 38th time today, and I'm gonna this month.
You remember
go by
the?
Michael's and get some of that.
Yeah, we'll gotta hit that way. Remember the variety show you did a couple of times?
Yes. Yeah.
That was great, but I know it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
And like Chris, remember you had the dry brush segment and the tinfoil segment.
Right.
segment. When we start having time to ourselves in like 6 years, when we're not taking too many projects and working too hard,
Sure.
we should like do a little bro thing and start talking shops. And maybe some people are
Yeah.
interested, I'm sure, because I know there are
Absolutely.
people that listens that does
I mean, I think
that's crafting.
I think we just do a live stream while we're
Yeah.
all 3 of us are working on
Oh,
something.
yeah, now
And
it's
we-
3 of us.
And we all do different things. Like I do props and costumes and stuff, and there's like one of our listeners does fucking aquariums, and there's so
you do.
like even with his crafting, it's such a huge variety that I've
Yeah.
learned that there is crossovers. I've definitely learned stuff doing Gundam that helped me with 40K, that helped me with cosplay.
Sure.
You know,
I mean, I watch
like
I
techniques
watch
are.
I watch the miniature people. I watch the prop builders.
Whoa.
No, it's
You don't-
fine.
You don't call them that. You
It's
don't call
fine.
They're not here for your entertainment.
They're not.
They're not here for
Then
rub
why,
off.
then why is Black Magic Craft putting out videos? Yeah, I watch anything that is to do with makeup. Like I watch Adam Savage's stuff on Tested. I like his stuff.
Oh yeah, makeup helps me
Really?
learn how to paint stuff too. Like watching people put on makeup and help me learn to paint faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll try to learn from anywhere. People ask me, how do you learn that? I just watch literally. If somebody's making something, I watched the guy make this bend, and it was welding stuff. He cut out. He made a smooth bend in metal by cutting out the notch and then bending it over. It was wild. That was
I love that shit. I used to love
anything's
watching
good.
how it's made.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get into learning how to use oil paints lately because I know how to use lacquer paints from Gundams. I know how to use acrylic paints for miniatures, but
Yeah.
apparently oil paints is where it is
Really.
when it comes to like realistic looking stuff, especially if you're doing like weathered stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently oil is where it's at.
Yeah, I haven't messed with oil paints at all.
Yep.
For the projects I've been doing.
Oh, well, yeah, we'll do it in 2 weeks, right? That's the thing.
weeks.
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Let me tell you. Right around the
weeks.
corner.
I'm looking forward to Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Are you doing something for Mardi Gras?
Well, you know what I mean? Because
I forgot. Shit, what is that? I forgot about it.
just because I'm like,
I need to put it in my
I
calendar.
feel like I haven't had any social shit recently.
Yeah.
You know, like it's all been work and then shows, and I personally, I need that every once in a while. I need hanging out every once in a while to break up.
Like I enjoy this, but it's not exactly the same.
Right.
Right.
Like I'm glad we at least have this because like this.
Correct.
This gives me like
Correct.
you know, but like especially coming off of Christmas when we saw each other and had
Yeah, yeah,
events
yeah,
like
yeah,
every
yeah.
fucking week.
I'm going through withdrawal, man. I miss you guys, man.
When is that thing?
Not this coming weekend, but the following Sunday.
Okay, I need to put it in the calendar because I'm glad I was in this weekend. It's like fuck how.
And it's from what I understand, it's supposed to be like the Eyes Wide Shut party. From what I understand.
Make sure you bring your mask.
Okay, good.
We all have masks in this room.
We'll put the kids in the basement for that one.
Dude, that fucking music's creepy as fuck. Oh god.
Did you understand that movie? Did you enjoy that movie?
Yes, I enjoyed the fuck out of it.
I haven't seen it in years. I don't even. I remember the premise.
I think it's the only Tom Cruise movie. No, Interview, and that one are probably the only two Tom Cruise movies that I still watch from time to time.
I remember enjoying it. I'm like, I enjoyed this. I don't know why. I don't get it, and I'm never watching it again. But
Last Samurai too.
I do like that movie. Unfortunately,
It's
do you wait till I say I like it before you say it's good?
I needed the Asian cosign.
Fucking Kent Watanabe, man. It's fucking good shit.
Yeah, man.
I thought of you yesterday, Joe. I was having to tie some very small
My little Asian hand?
Yeah, I did. I'm like, I need Joe over here to do this.
You need Brofest. We haven't even had time for Brofest. We're busy making things that we can't even make things together anymore.
Man. That's got to be rough.
It's rough.
I haven't noticed any difference because my phone is activating the same way, but I'm sure it's tough for you guys, for sure. For sure.
We're also busy, Bobby.
No, I understand.
It's been fucking crazy.
I get it. I'm that's my last set to review, and I'm gonna do a versus on those two.
What are they? I can't see them over here.
It's this shit here.
Yeah.
Oh, are you doing versus between these three? You should do a versus between the three seekers.
I'm literally out of topics.
See, this one is blue.
No, I got the New Age ones too. I've never done a Legends versus. I think it would be interesting.
It'll be easier, right?
This one's smaller. It wins.
Yeah.
This one doesn't scale with anything.
Dude, the scales are so fucked up, man.
Yeah. What do you mean scales fucked up?
Like,
look at them over
there. Oh, do you still have the chart that you made? That was
yes.
great.
Yes.
That chart was.
Yeah, the fucking chart shit, when it suits people's desires, it's the smartest thing ever. When it doesn't, it's the dumbest thing ever.
It's funny. People are just like it's just like fucking politics or anything like that. It's just cherry pick what you want.
Look, this MMC onslaught, the review went up today.
Mm-hmm. Is that yours?
No, of course not. I don't buy toys anymore. It's the best. It's so perfect. Not the toy. Toy's fine, but it's the best example of people's lack of give a fuck about scale when it matters to them. Like, so here's the thing. Everybody trashed DX9 and Fans Toys core bot because they're way too big, right? They said that Unique Toys was a decent size. They say that MMC is a decent size. MMC's is bigger than Unique Toys. In fact, he's the same size as Fans Toys and DX9s, but nobody's bitching about it. Add on top of that, the MMC limb bots are a smaller size. Yeah. So like the scale differentiation between Onslaught and them is so fucked up. But nobody's gonna say a fucking word.
It's because it's half price.
It's because of the hive. MMC has a strong hive.
That's true. Talk to your boy Lenny.
Yeah. Well, Oculum Access in his bag either. He just does pretty much the reformatted. So I feel like reformatted has been kind of.
I haven't heard anything, but I'm not been keeping up.
They put out the Pet and Nickel, and then they just put out Ravage.
Which is not what I want.
No, it's not what I want either. It's not terrible though, to be fair.
It's not.
And it's actually the cat mode works, in my opinion, better for Ravage than it does for the Pet.
I agree.
Okay,
but the bot,
looks
stupid, weird.
Yeah,
I think we're at Chris. I think we're at you on Nerd Week.
Oh, okay. Let me get my notes here.
We just fucking. What is the highest you're willing to pay for shipping? I've decided it's $250 to $300 at most. No matter the size of this.
What's up with your, speaking of shipping? What's up with your Module cases?
I don't know. Coronavirus.
Because I thought they shipped though.
Yeah, they're in the ocean somewhere.
Is that worrisome to you? Or are you?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Like they could be at the bottom of the ocean for all you know.
I just have I have faith and trust, and like I'm not in a rush.
Okay.
That's just how I'm with stuff nowadays. Yeah. Like I'm stressed about enough other things.
So like I'm not in a rush with mine either. But if I knew they had shipped, then I'd be like, whoa, what the fuck? Where are they?
Well, just like with most like statue pre-orders and stuff, I just that thing just I expect to be delayed. Even the estimated time of arrival is a long time, I still expect it to be after that.
Right, but we're not right, and I agree with
Yeah.
you. I get what I'm saying is like the ones that he's doing for me. Right,
Yeah.
they're supposed to be done. I think by May.
It's different. I
look,
think his production is getting better because he's getting bigger.
And maybe,
and he's like in South Africa and all that stuff.
But if they're not done until December,
Yeah.
it's it's whatever. When it comes, it comes. No big
Yeah,
deal.
exactly.
I'm good on it. You're building them. You're making them. Just make them right.
Right,
You know what I mean? But if he gave me my shipping notice, and they're like, okay, estimated time arrivals in 2 weeks, let's say,
Right.
and then now we're on 2 months, I'd be, "Ah!" That's what would worry me.
No, I'm out. I'll hit him up and I'll report back.
I'm worried for. I mean, I don't want to add on to your stress. I'm stressed for you. Only because they said they shipped, and then last time I felt like you said they were in the country or they were.
No, they were in the ocean, California bound. They were in the ocean, waiting to.
And how long ago was that?
Yeah, that was a long fucking time ago.
A month ago.
Boats they're very fast. Boats are very.
they?
I mean, they're faster than a month. It doesn't take a month to get from
true.
China to here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe
That's
they
strange.
all died of coronavirus on the way.
It's just the ship drifting and.
It's gonna be like a movie. Someone's gonna go in and they're gonna be fucking releasing all the shit.
They have to quarantine all the dead bodies in your Maja case just to bring them on.
Yeah, they built your Maja case just to put the bodies in.
That'd be amazing.
That would be great. There's 4 dead dudes in these.
I'll take them. I don't care. I mean, somebody's got to take the bodies out, wash it off. I'll
Right.
take it pre-built. Fuck, let's work on my part.
There you go.
Give it a wipe down with the Clorox disinfectant wipe, would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a little bit of cleaning. I talked to a guy I hadn't talked to in a while from back home
Where is that?
in Alabama.
Oh, okay.
And he, this dude is I mean, I've known him for years, and he's kind of a scoundrel, I guess.
Oh, Bobby's kind of guy.
Yeah.
But turns out
I happen to like nice men.
that he's a priest now. It's his alter ego, Joe.
I fell for that one.
Can you get a honk on it, Bobby? Sad honk.
I fell for that. I'm only sad because I fell for it. I was getting ready to like, go into like life-changing shit and
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, well done.
Sorry.
Well done.
Speaking of that, how's Scotty?
You mean with his change in?
Mm-hmm.
He's miserable.
Is he?
Yeah.
I thought he was good.
It's-
Got to get down with Jesus.
Oh, he's good with that.
Okay, but
Yeah.
just in general,
Yeah, he's miserable at this. He's working in a new place and
not good. Nah, that sucks.
he's very bored.
Yeah. Is this the guy you did the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He to those that don't know this guy.
I mean, he was on air a couple months ago, right? No,
Was he?
I don't remember.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. But he moved to a different mopping place and. Because he's older, he's getting ready to retire, and they don't mop as much. And
So just sitting around.
and he's just sitting around, and he's becoming like his shoulders don't sit the same anymore.
Tap out the step.
Yeah, I told him he's just Scott now.
Wow.
He lost the Y.
He's lost the Y, the extra 10 on the Y. Tell him to get tell him to put a PS4 in there, and when they're not mopping, play some games.
He wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah. I read, well, I've been reading it. I forgot to mention it. DK3 Master Race.
Oh yeah,
It's really good.
Yeah,
I
it's good,
enjoyed it.
right?
Yep. It was kind of predictable, but I enjoyed it.
yeah, I enjoyed it
The
too.
Lazarus Pit thing was a bit surprising for that story, but
I thought it was a nice, like looking at them now, with Dark Knight Strikes Again being the weakest of the three.
Yeah.
Looking at them now all three as a one story, I feel like it brings the second one up a bit.
I think it does too.
Yeah, okay.
I'm anxious to read the third one when it comes out in trade, or the fourth one rather when it comes out in trade.
I didn't even know there was a fourth one.
Yeah.
What's that one called?
I don't know. It's got Dark Side in it.
Oh, is it
Raphael Grandpa's doing the
I don't know.
doing the art. There were some
I'm out of
Hong
touch.
Kong, protest thing. They embraced something. They fight the power kind of vibe that was in there. I don't know much about the book other than that, but
Well,
it's-
Frank Miller's not the type to shy away from political stuff, for sure.
I've really been in an alien bag lately. So I watched Covenant.
Yeah, I watched that recently too, like a couple weeks ago.
I still haven't seen it.
I actually watched. I finished Prometheus, and then I guess last week sometime, and me and Kelly actually watched that again last night. There's so many.
Do you like him?
I do.
I like them both a lot.
I've missed so much. There's so much in there. And Kelly was asking me all these questions like, how do they get from point A? I was like, well, it's all in the next movie. because I guess the time I watched it, I wasn't really paying attention to either one of them. Because
I love the engineers.
Yeah. There's just so much little,
a lot.
there's so much little nuance in there that I'm picking up on watching it second, third time.
They're just cool.
It's really good. But on the opposite side of that coin, I watched Alien 3.
Why would you watch that last?
I was just randomly watching.
It's not terrible.
It's not. It's not as bad as I remember it being.
It's not. It's not 4. 4 is terrible.
Yeah. Was it Resurrection or whatever?
Yeah.
Back up in this. Back up in this bitch with the resurrection.
yes.
You gotta roll the window up first.
But yeah, I mean, there's the CGI parts, and then like you're seeing it through the eyes of the alien. That bit's a bit cheesy to me.
That sounds cheesy. Am I like I'm? That sounds.
Yeah.
For the time, it was different.
It was something different, and it was made in 1993. I didn't realize that movie was that
really?
old. Yeah, so I mean that
You get more extra points for it being that old. I don't remember it being that old.
they use a lot of practical effects, but there's when it is like when the alien's running, it's all CGI, and it's just like
Doesn't
I
hold up.
feel like
can you not go back and fix that?
I feel like Alien 3 is the Alien 2 that people would have expected, but because Aliens was so great,
Yeah.
then it put Alien 3 in a bad place.
Yeah. I don't think it's bad.
You
It's
couldn't
just-
top that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's because there's only one really xenomorph the whole time.
Yep.
You know,
And Alien 2 explains it all. Like that's it's Empire, it's Terminator 2. It's like once you get the toothpaste out and it comes out right,
you're not
it's
putting it
so
back in.
hard to top that.
Yeah,
It's like you don't need any more at that point.
Yeah.
that's right. I watched Picard episode 3.
Still good?
Still good. They're actually in space finally. So he's
they weren't even in
put
space
his
yet.
little crew together to go on his mission to try to find this twin girl. It's fun.
Is it any of the old crew? Oh, it's just him and new crew.
It's him and a new crew. I mean, he said like, I think I mentioned there's a Romulan couple that's living with him, and they said, why don't you just call the old gang? And he's like, I know they'd go in a heartbeat, but I don't want to put them through it. You know, and they've shown trailers or teasers or whatever where Riker and Deanna, whatever her name is,
Deanna Troi.
they're in it in some capacity at some point. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But it's a fun. It's a fun romp.
Fun romp.
There's a guy named I don't know his name, but his channel's Screen Rant.
Yeah, I know Screen
Yeah,
Rant.
Screen
Yeah.
Rant is like a
Yeah.
big,
It's
a big
site.
thing.
So is it Screen Rant?
Very clickbaity. Screen Rant.
Is
the
that
site.
is that the guy that like acts like he's working at a video store?
Screen Rant is
No, Screen Crush is the one I'm talking about. Screen
okay.
Crush.
Also,
So I love that because he's like, and this character in the background, that's your mom. He does that in every video. It's like you almost wait for it. But he does the Easter egg stuff, and I'll be honest, a lot of it I still don't quite. I'm not 100% up to speed on that universe, so some of it's like, oh, well, that makes more sense now that I know. That's why, like, there's one of the plot points is there was a Borg cube that stopped working, and they're trying to figure out why it stopped working.
weird.
But they're unassimilating a lot of these people. So, like, the guy who played the Borg in the very first Borg they ever saw, and
yes, I remember that episode.
he is in there with his stuff removed, but he's got like little bitty pieces of the tech right where it was attached to him.
Yeah,
Like, they can't
the
fully
implants.
remove it or whatever. Yeah.
because they teach him to say "I," but then he went back anyway.
Right. I went to ZoloCon this weekend. Me and Kelly went up Saturday.
I saw pictures.
Yeah, it was fun. It's not a huge show, but ton of
It looks
people
very
there.
dramatic inside.
Well, it's the place it's
Did
in.
you see pictures?
No.
It's like all purples and blues
Yeah,
and
I will tell you the lighting in there is trash.
Really?
Like you need a flashlight if you're
Yeah.
digging for shit. You
Right,
need a
right, right,
flashlight.
right.
Really? That's bad.
It's in an old centrifuge that they tested like astronauts in.
shit.
That's
it's called the
awesome.
Fuge.
that is awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so there's
It's
the
called
main
a
room.
nightclub.
The main room is up. It has the thing up top. Then you go upstairs. You actually go through like an old control room to get to this upstairs room. It was great seeing everybody. I
course.
won't even name names. There was a ton of people there.
You'll
but-
forget one.
Yeah. So I will mention my wife and I have come to the conclusion when we go to things like that, we cannot stay together because she looks a lot longer and a lot harder at stuff. And I'm just there like twiddling my thumbs. So I finally said, I'm going to leave you alone to do your thing and I'm going to do my thing, which works out fine. Except when I couldn't find her for like 20 minutes, but I found her. I was walking around with Dust and we were looking around and he said, you getting tired of looking at the same shit?
It's just booth after booth.
Well, and it's the same. I mean, the people that go to NJCC, They go to Toy Con.
Yes.
They go so it's a lot of the same vendors selling the same stuff, and it's like, yeah, and I'm not really looking for anything, so it's hard to. I mean, I picked up one little thing, and I picked up a couple things for other people. I will shout out real quick to JD and Change. He custom painted, or I guess he dyed them. 2 green, the ogres, the Mythic Legions ogres. I wanted them red, and he freaking killed it. He did a great job with it.
His custom work has come leaps and bounds in the past year and a half.
Yeah.
Like, he gifted me that Ventress, which I was, like, blown away by. But not to belittle the Ventress, but I look at, like, the shit that he's doing now, and I just think about that period of time, and I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah. So those dudes,
Ventress now.
those dudes were green.
Oh, that's
and
great.
He got
You
them
can't
red.
tell.
Yeah. And then, like, this was just the builder, so it didn't have any detail on it. And I didn't notice this at first, but, you know, they went in and painted all the medallions and all the everything.
Dude, that
to the
is going to
nines.
look
He did great.
great on your bottom floor underneath some boxes.
I can't wait to. Well, I mean, truth be told, they're stacked in boxes on my desk right now. But I just haven't had time to get through them. So, yeah, just working on stuff diorama wise. It's a very stressful time right now. So
Too much.
busy week. Yeah, Kelly and I Kelly's been great helping. She's doing a couple of these basically herself.
It feels like she kicks in for you when you need her to.
She does. She's killing it. But I'll be glad when this week's over. I'll just say that. Between work and doing this stuff.
You got to learn to when to say no.
Yeah, or make compromises. You know, I did turn down another part of this that I could have done, but I was like, "There's no way."
That's not way you can do it.
But
if you can't do it, you can't do it.
That's right.
It's hard to say no, man.
It is,
And
it is
also
hard to say no.
negotiate deadlines.
It's
Well,
hard to say no.
yeah, when there's a hard deadline, that's I work good under a deadline, but it was about half the work under this deadline because I sometimes feel like. I think about what I could do if I had another month to do this. You know, how good could it look? Because
It's always like that with projects, though. Like, if you had half a year, then you would
I know.
more.
Yeah, but if I didn't have this hard break where I had to have it done, So, hey,
Yeah.
Bobby.
I watched part 1 of this HBO series that's covering like the scam of the McDonald's game with Monopoly shit.
I heard about that. I didn't know. Is it a scam? It was never. No one ever won.
I don't know if no one ever won, but there's certainly at least 1 or 2 times that it was rigged.
Of who's gonna win?
Yeah, or not rigged, but it was scammed. Like the winners scammed it,
Oh, okay.
and it's fucking great. Wow. Like it's only 1 episode in, but it's fucking great.
I would watch it if I don't have HBO.
Yeah, dude, it's good.
So like McDonald's wasn't in on it.
Was
McDonald's in on the scam or
No, McDonald's was not in on it because they lost money.
What's the name of that? Do you know?
Just put in HBO McDonald's. I guarantee you it'll pop right up. I watched Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm continuing.
Right. Still great?
I haven't watched this week's episode because it came on last night. I'm asleep before 10 o'clock because I'm trash. But
getting old.
Dude, that show is fucking amazing, man.
That's your favorite kind of comedy.
It's so good. Let's see what else.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah.
I normally don't watch this kind of shit, and I'm not talking about politics. I just think it was so off the rails. I watched the State of the Union address.
Oh yeah,
and it seemed like Vince McMahon had booked this,
dude.
There were so many. I mean, they said Trump likes to use people in the crowd, so he had like Rush Limbaugh got a medal, and this soldier comes home and his wife and kids are there, and this lady did this, and this little girl survived, and it was like there's so much going on. I don't know. It was wild to me.
I'm so ashamed of it all. And I don't mean like it's not like a partisan thing. Like I'm ashamed of fucking her ripping up the speech. Yeah. I'm ashamed of his theatrics. I'm just ashamed of all of it.
All of it.
All of it.
It's all terrible.
Yeah.
And they're representative of us. That's the shameful part. It's not like I can watch from afar. It's like fuck. Even if I don't pay attention to this, like this still represents me.
Like I get that the two of you hate each other, but you're representing us. So fucking put on a show and at least look fucking professional. It drives me nuts. Like, but that's why I don't.
And one thing that just drives me nuts about that, and I've watched them over the years. I don't religiously say, oh, it's the third Wednesday in January, I better watch, or whenever it comes on. But that's standing up and applauding for everything. It's like, we get it. We get what side you're on. Half the room stands up and claps. The other one looks at their watch or whatever.
Yep.
Just roll through. Say, hold your applause at the end, and then applause for 20 minutes. That's fine.
Yep.
Well, speaking of applauding for yourself, wasn't the Oscar?
It was.
I didn't watch it.
I haven't even looked at their results.
So
I thought you watched that
I'll
stuff.
tell you, the Joker won. He won actor.
Did he really?
That movie Parasite
I need to watch
won like everything.
the Korean.
Yeah.
It was the first foreign
Represent.
language to win. I don't even know
Wait,
what
no,
it's
Crouching
about.
Tiger won a bunch of shit. I feel like.
I don't
Didn't
know.
win Best Picture, did it?
I don't know. Don't get me lying.
But Phoenix won for best actor for the Joker.
I thought you watched that stuff, Bobby.
I usually do, but we don't have cable anymore.
I don't stream it.
Oh, maybe. But who's
I
gonna
don't-
watch
I
it?
don't know. Weird
Maybe,
choice.
But I wouldn't watch it on a laptop.
Oh, yeah, right. You don't know how to stream to your TV.
Correct. Well, so you want to have a conversation? We can get into it. So
What?
So look.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
So
He
look.
still uses
don't have-
he uses a Blu-ray player right next to his PS4. It's fine.
Hang on. So you don't watch YouTube on your TV?
No, I don't really watch a whole lot of YouTube. Usually when I watch YouTube, so usually the stuff that I watch on YouTube, my wife has no interest in watching.
Okay.
So like when we're together, the stuff that we want to watch is more often on HBO and then occasionally on Netflix. But we mainly just watch HBO. That being said, like let me tell you what happened last
That
night.
would have been like the most dope flex in 1987.
So let me tell you what happened last night. We go upstairs to watch a movie. Mm-hmm. This is at 8:15.
Okay.
Okay. Plenty of time. We can't because Jane has been having a whole bunch of basketball games. Let me tell you something. She's not trash anymore.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and the whole fucking team is playing really well.
Nice.
Like I'm
Practice, man.
Like I'm enjoying going to the games.
Keeping that ball up high now?
Yeah, dude.
That's the one thing I taught her.
And I'll tell you
Not
what,
to bring the ball down, just keep it up high.
it's been working.
Good.
So but now I'm like, we got a game today because I'm trying to go because I like really enjoy it. I just put my headphones in and I just listen to music and I watch. But they're playing so hard that it's fun to watch. That being said, we get back around 8:15. We're gonna go upstairs. We're gonna watch a movie. We haven't done that in a while. We've been doing other stuff and walking and hanging out or whatever. So cool. So we go upstairs and she's like, "Do you want to watch that movie with Adam Driver and
Marriage Story.
Yes." And I'm kind of iffy on that. I don't really like watching movies about divorce. Like it the same way that people are like, I don't want to see because I don't want to see nasty things. Like Saul, Adam used to stay with Saul. Like I don't want to see gross things. Like same thing with divorce. Like I don't like watching shit about divorce. I don't want to think about divorce. I joke about it, but the impact that a divorce would have on my life is horrifying to me. So I'm like, yeah, no, sure, fine. I like Adam Driver. I like ScarJo. ScarJo. But I like both of them, so sure. And then she's like, well, I know you don't want to watch it. So she cycles through. So she finally says, okay, let's watch it. So she hits play. She hits play. My DVD player kicks on, shuts off the TV, and defaults to the DVD player. She hits a button. It goes back to Netflix, but now it won't play the video. So now we have to turn the TV off. So we turn the TV off. Then you turn the TV back. When you turn the TV off, it turns the Blu-ray player off. Then you turn the TV back on. You need 5 minutes, I feel like, before it warms up enough for you to use the internet shit on it. So turn the TV on, we have to wait 5 minutes, press the button, go back to Netflix. Scrolling through again, about 10 minutes in, she picks something else to watch. DVD player kicks on.
You know what? Keep going.
Turns defaults back to the DVD player.
The same thing was before. Yep.
Yep. Same thing. We had to shut the TV off again. She turns it back on. 5 minutes. It's now 9:10.
An hour. You know
Are
what?
you using a universal remote?
No.
See, that's the only thing I think of. Signals getting crossed up.
That's not the problem. The problem is he still has a fucking DVD player.
So 9:10. It's now an hour later than when we sat down to watch something. This is why I hate this fucking era of streaming platform shit.
But that's a you thing. That's a you problem.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because it's not the machine. Well,
partially. It's partially the
way
machine.
there's the machines you chose.
Yes, but they're not supposed to do that.
I don't know what they're supposed to do.
Something's very strange.
I do
sir.
everything through my PS4.
Is your
You
DVD
have
player
one.
built into your TV?
But it's for the basement. I'm not going to take...
Don't you have another PS? You
No.
have a PS3?
No.
Okay.
Is your DVD player built into the TV? I'm still very confused.
And it's a
Why
different
would
brand.
Signal
It's
that.
I got a
Because
Samsung TV. I got a Sony Blu-ray player, but the Samsung TV will kick on the Blu-ray player somehow.
And this is upstairs.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know. What to tell you. Like PS4s aren't expensive, man. They're probably cheaper than your Blu-ray player and DVD player combined.
No, my Blu-ray player was like $60.
Because like you run everything. You can run disc and apps and streaming and internet all through one machine, and that's the way to go. Like if you have
Not that I disagree.
Yeah.
Let's say that's the way to go. I'm on
but
board. But it shouldn't be the only option.
No, but it's the best option. Like why would you choose to use five things when you can use one?
Well, the second best option, which is only using two things, same way I've used two things my whole life: VCR TV, DVD player TV, Blu-ray TV. It shouldn't malfunction that much.
I mean, it shouldn't malfunction at all.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Something is askew there.
Yeah.
And that's mind-bogglingly
Signals
strange.
across somehow.
Yeah.
That it doesn't. Yeah.
So that's
an hour of fucking just.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Netflix and HBO and all that shit when you're like, let's go into the room and watch this fucking thing.
Yeah.
But the whole scrolling and an hour. It was an hour. And then I was turned off by the whole idea of it. You know, I was turned off.
Oh, of course, an hour. You wouldn't
Yeah.
want to do it
So,
anymore.
let's see what else, if anything. Still doing still moving every day, still trying to eat well. Laura's doing it too, and like I noticed the changes. I don't know if I noticed the changes with me, but I noticed the changes with her.
Good or bad? Because I know you don't.
Good, because everything is staying. All the good stuff is staying where it should. You know what I mean?
Because I know you worry about.
Yeah,
You don't like girls too fit,
too muscular.
too muscular.
You know, like even, and that doesn't mean like bodybuilding, but like if it's like if I like a soft woman, I saw these hard things in my life, so to speak. I just like coming home to something soft. But anyway, I'm okay with I'm okay with it firming up a bit, but I don't want it to feel like a brick house. You know. So, all right. I think that's about it. If I remember anything, I've knocked out all my reviews except for this last thing. So that's good.
Diorama stuff.
I've been working on Lookout Mountain, and it's going to be a heavy paint thing in order to sell that, but that's fine. Visually sell it. I got to get these lights because I don't want to install that diorama until we get the lights for that case.
Don't do that shit.
So yeah, and I finished that big work project. So a lot of my things are kind of clearing off my desk.
That work project is great, man.
Thank you.
Your
it's
editing
really good.
skill is.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It looks professionally put together.
Yeah, I mean, I've probably spent 20 hours on it. You know, like I've been trying to keep track of it.
It's better quality than what they would have wrote in on the TV when I was in school. They wrote on the TV and put it in the tape.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it. All right, let's get into notes. Not a whole lot to cover, but
We already talked about Transformers.
we already talked about the Transformers stuff. We got two other things to talk about regarding Transformers. But one, harness the power. This Dino Riders thing.
Chris' eyes just rolled around.
It looks to me like they're making some statues in the UK. From reading the article, I'm happy for Phil. I really am.
Well,
Bobby?
Yeah, I love Dino Riders.
You gonna buy the statue?
I don't know because
I don't know enough about it to even know who these people
it was
are.
awesome as a kid.
Yeah, sure.
If you love dinosaurs, you love dinosaurs also.
Dino Riders. And we have a question about Dino Riders too from Crimson Raptor. So here's the thing about it. Looking at this, it says MV Studios are excited to announce that we secured the Dino Riders trademark in the UK and are in early development stage of a reboot inspired by the much-loved 80s toy line. We will be partnering up with hugely talented MFA Collectibles for a range of collectible statues. They will be split into 3 lines. The first will be a 1/10 Dinosaur and Rider series. The second will be a 1/6 single character series. And the third will be a 1/10 diorama series based on some of the incredible artwork used on the original line. It's our aim to honor the legacy of the original Dino Riders series by depicting scientifically accurate dinosaurs, as this was a key part of the success and appeal of the original toy line. As well as collectible statues, we are also in early talks with Creative Beast Studio to partner up on a brand new toy line and will release more information in due time. We hope to release images of our first statue, a 1/10 Serena and Pteranodon, in the coming months, as well as the pre-orders through MFA Collectibles. So look, statue, like I might be in on some of the statues. Like,
1/10 is still huge.
I agree.
Depends on which dinosaur.
So I got to look at the logistics of it. But like the T-Rex You know, like they did the T-Rex and they got like all like the head, like the brain master shit on it and all the cannons and everything looks like modern and fucking sick. I might be in on it.
What if they really make it scientifically proper and they put feathers on that shit?
All right, so feathers gets tricky. So I think that they're right. Like I could have a whole discussion about Dino Riders. So like Dino Riders did change.
Phil needs to get in on this.
It did change the way that like dinosaur toys were made because up until that point, everything was like based on that old artwork that Phil knows the name of. It's like this old dinosaur artist that used to draw all of them where like the T-Rexes stood basically up like this.
Like Barney and Grimlock.
Yes. And, you know, but then, you know, it was Dino Riders that started kind of, you know, using the tail as more of a balancing thing, which scientifically is probably, you know, either you used it for a weapon or you used it for balance. And, like, you know, it introduced, like, I know the reason why people joke that I know a little bit about dinosaurs, like I know the Pachycephalosaurus and the Kentrosaurus and the, you know, it's because of Dino Riders. You know, it was an educational thing in that regard. I mean, relatively worthless education, you know, because you don't really need to know shit about dinosaurs to be successful. But I did learn a lot from it. And it was like a huge part of my childhood. And like I loved fucking Dino Riders. And like the show was one of those shows I kind of put in that same pocket as those insect things where the little puppet with there's like a little bee and your hands were the legs. And
yeah, I don't remember that.
No
Insectoids?
idea
Insectoids, something like that. And
That's before my time.
The reason why I lump all that shit together is because like it was one of those things where I knew there was an animated show that went with it, but I had the damnedest time ever finding it to try to watch it.
Yeah.
So like it was like,
you watched it once on Never back in the day.
Correct. So, like, yeah, if they do a T-Rex one, but the feathers thing, look, I'm on board with the feathers for some of the stuff, like the Velociraptor and stuff, but not for the T-Rex. I can't handle it with the T-Rex. I'm old school, I guess. I'm a dinosaur. You know what I mean?
Oh, there it is.
But yeah, I think that's fucking super exciting, and it's like a brand that's like been dead as fuck. You know what I mean?
That's
forever.
it's a crazy choice.
Yeah.
I would have never seen that coming.
Yeah, so I'm excited about it. I'm not interested in the single characters because I don't even remember any of them.
It's just the dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's just the dinosaurs and like the tech on the dinosaurs to me is fucking cool. So I'm excited. Hopefully they have something at Toy Fair.
You're gonna have the T-Rex statue next to the Grimlock statue you're gonna get.
I gotta start thinking about that. But I you know, my fucking Mod case probably won't be here till, you know, I'm retired. So
2024.
yeah. All right. So Transform. We got a little bit. Transformers is doing a My Little Pony 4-issue miniseries. What? You guys excited about that? Stupid. Okay.
I just don't like crossovers anymore at all.
Yeah.
Especially most of the time they don't make sense. Mm-hmm. Like Marvel and Transformers didn't make sense to me either. Was it Avengers or X-Men?
Yeah, that was dumb.
It doesn't fucking make sense.
The G.I. Joe Transformers one that they did. That
that's
was
the
great.
only one that makes sense.
Some of those were good. I mean, but like that's the case. There's an audience for that. It's not for me.
Right. I also think that like of all the lines that Hasbro has, like that's, you know, like this is with whom you choose to place your faith.
Yeah.
You know, it's like silly. But I mean, best of luck to them. IDW Transformers is not what it used to be. Also, the resurgence of BotCon.
Oh yeah, that I heard that last week. We didn't talk about it.
Yeah, so the news broke last week when we were doing the show. So it looks like BotCon is back, but there's also been like this drama on Twitter surrounding the guy Pete Sinclair, who was like a big part of BotCon and supposedly has made some statements and, you know, that have pissed off people, and I don't know shit about any of that. But I do know that like it's going to be very if BotCon doesn't have Hasbro in their pocket, it's going to be very challenging for them to be relevant.
I mean, they're still gonna have they're not gonna have the exclusives.
Exactly.
The exclusive BotCon
like
repaint of shit.
The beauty of BotCon was that Hasbro was involved.
Right.
So they could show off new stuff. They could bring in Hasbro people and talk, and now you have this inside loop. It's kind of the same thing with TFCon, right? Like 3P is in their pocket.
Right.
So, you know, they can bring exclusives, they can bring prototypes, they can bring all this stuff, and it's bigger than just a gathering. Now it's an industry thing mixed with the gathering. And if they don't have that industry element,
it's just like the gathering of juggalos. Less face paint, more body odor.
Yes. Well, maybe same body. Some of those jokes.
I kid.
But like the if they don't have the industry inside thing, now you're just NJCC. You know, like you're just another convention.
Right.
Like there's nothing there's nothing unique about you. So now you're the underdog competing with TFCon. I don't know if you can do it.
Well, depends if they always do it in the opposite side of the country as TFCon.
Yeah, that might be it.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah, but
that's how anime cons and Comic Cons used to be. Like, well, if you're in West Coast, you go to this one. If you're East Coast, you go to that one.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea. Something for them to think about.
20.
I'll copy it up.
They're not doing anything this year, so 2021 they're going to target to.
I would do a BotCon if I could vend and I could invent my frustrations. And if it was in, I didn't have to drive any more than an hour and a half. 2 hours tops.
I mean, from
2
here,
hours
there's
tops.
a lot of cities you can hit in an hour and a half, 2 hours from here.
Yeah, Hagerstown, Gettysburg.
Well, DC, Baltimore, Pennsylvania.
I'll get really
what city
close.
are we close in Pennsylvania?
I'll get really close to Philly.
That's 2.5 hours from here. So
yeah. Richmond. Like that. I mean, DC, Baltimore, obviously, Annapolis. Like there's some space I could get to. Pittsburgh, I think, is like 3 hours, 3.5 hours.
It's 3 hours.
Yeah. So and that might even be feasible. Like it would be case dependent, but as a general rule, I would feel like 2 hours, I would safely make it there. But I don't know. I wish them the best. I wish anybody that's like boots on the ground trying to do something. I always wish them the best. But it just seems like they're already off to this rocky ass start, and they're gonna have to get Hasbro on board in order to be effective. That's my opinion.
But didn't Hasbro was the one that shut them down? Right?
Yeah, because they were doing this HasCon thing. But now what's going on? They did one show and then nothing.
Yeah, apparently, it was not a success.
Well, there you go.
I mean, we kind of predicted that.
I mean,
right?
it was in their backyard.
So you would feel like, how could it not be a success? Like, what's the expenses if it's in your backyard for them? I mean, I guess.
But I don't know, maybe how much audience are you getting to go?
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to Rhode Island, but it's not exactly in the top 10 list. I feel like of most people's tourist destinations.
That and for someone who loves Nerf guns, are they going to a Nerf gun convention? I'm sure there's one, but
But you'd have to have a Nerf gun fighting field. You know what I mean?
Right,
It would have to be big.
So I don't know what HasCon has to offer to a large audience.
Yeah.
So I mean, HasCon, the last HasCon was 2017.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And their Wikipedia says HasCon was a fan convention created by Hasbro.
Whoa. Once.
Yeah, because at first they said it was going to be annual, and then they said it was going to be biannual, and then it just went away. I don't know. So anyway, I wish BotCon the best. I never had a great experience at BotCon, but apparently I went at a bad year. But
I'll be honest with you. I went to 2 BotCons, and I was the guy in the lobby wandering around, just trying to figure out if I wanted to talk to anybody because I didn't know anybody other than a person I was with.
Right.
And it was very people don't give us as a community enough credit for bringing people together. Because like you said, there would be 50 people wandering around in the lobby trying to figure out if I want to talk to these people.
Yeah, it's clicky, man. It was super clicky when I went.
Clicky,
just do the smell test. Walk by someone and sniff a little bit. If they smell fine, then you can talk to them.
You're like, hey, if you love Transformers, raise your hands, and you're like,
no, none of you.
No thanks.
What did Robert used to say? On the line of fatty stinky.
on the stinky fatty scale. That's a Robert thing, yeah. All right, so strange rewrites. Doctor Strange 2 script getting a rewrite from Loki showrunner. I was trying to find viable quotes about this, but it just says that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is going through some major changes with the new director, possibly Sam Raimi, replacing
Spider-Man,
which it didn't seem like a lot of people were excited about that.
Replacing Scott Derrickson. Now it appears Michael Waldron will be rewriting the Doctor Strange script originally written by Jade Haley Bartlett, according to the Hollywood Reporter on Friday, who tend to be pretty on point.
Well, I mean, that's an actual journalistic magazine. It's not a clickbait site. But so the Sam Raimi thing is interesting to me because that had kind of been mentioned. It was more of a horror focused, and he did, the Evil Dead stuff, right? Didn't he direct the Evil Dead movies back in the day?
I think
30 years ago.
Oh, well, I mean, he's got the chops for something past, blowing shit up.
And I mean, this is when does that's next year?
I don't even know. Probably maybe 2022 at this point. They're not done writing it.
I wonder is Black Widow considered to be Phase 4?
Isn't this takes place in Phase 3 though? It's not. It's not after.
Correct. It's supposed to take place between Civil War and Infinity
Right.
War.
So unless they're setting up new, threads from here,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Hey, speaking of Marvel, and I know how much this trouble you went through to cancel it. Did you see the battle damage Thanos that's coming from Hot Toys?
I did not.
With a snapping finger, actually.
Oh, Bobby.
With the he's got the nano gauntlet on, and
it's not that one. It's not. That's not the one.
Yeah, it's not my Thanos, man. Hashtag.
I just thought it was interesting that as soon as you canceled that, they came out with a battle damage version, which looks a million times better in my opinion, but it's still not anything I want.
Yeah, I am curious about, so I also heard that Captain Marvel 2, the villain is going to be Rogue.
Really?
Oh, makes sense.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But how are you just going to introduce Rogue?
Correct.
By herself?
Correct. So some of that stuff is exciting and scary to me at the same time.
Yeah.
Because this is we're starting over basically. So all the ducks are going to be in a row, and I think there's two ways to look at stuff like this. There's the kind of knee jerk fan reaction of it's in trouble, But I think there's another way of looking at it. Look, we're starting new. We really got to make sure this shit is right.
Yeah.
We have to have lightning in a bottle again.
Yeah, and they have a decent track record for the
Correct.
last 10 years. I know we don't love all the movies, and some of the movies plain dislike, but overall,
It was successful.
it's a 10-year run.
I mean, absolutely, yeah. And the only other franchise to do that is the Fast and Furious franchise.
For fuck's sake.
What about The Weekend at Bernie's?
I don't think I ever saw the second one.
I don't think I did either, and I barely remember the first one. I remember the gags about it. I don't remember the movie.
I also remember Mannequin as a kid. I really
Kim
enjoyed.
Cattrall.
She was great in it, but I really enjoyed watching it as a kid.
With
I
Tom
loved
Hanks?
it. No, I wasn't.
No, it's
Tom
not.
Hanks.
Tom Hanks isn't in that.
That was that nerdy dude. He's in a ton of
Oh,
shit.
I'm thinking, is it Mermaid?
Is it Cusack?
Mermaid what
Is
I'm
it John
thinking of?
Cusack?
If it is, I hate it automatically. I don't remember if it's Cusack or not.
I can't remember. Somebody like him though.
I forgot. It was a movie just like Mannequin, except it was Mermaid, right?
Splash.
Splash.
Yeah,
Is that
that
Tom
was
Hanks?
great.
It's
too.
Daryl Hannah as the mermaid and Tom Hanks.
Okay. I get those two movies mixed up because I feel like the plot's similar.
Sure.
A non-human girl.
Oh no, it's not John Cusack.
Let me see who it is. I might recognize him. Let me see.
What?
Who is this dude?
know him.
He was in every other.
Yeah.
He's the 80s guy. So would they go the Rogue as a villain now, under Mystique?
Andrew McCarthy.
That's it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. Say again.
Rogue being a villain, and let's just play this out.
Okay.
Being a rumor or whatever.
Okay.
So Rogue has to become an X-Men or a hero at some point, right? So would they go the Rogue is under the influence of Mystique? Isn't that?
I don't know.
Isn't that a thing that happened?
Yes. But she was also, Rogue has been.
There was many.
Yeah, there's
just like Psylocke, many alterations.
There was a time where she was just riding with Magneto.
Yeah.
And that was her.
Wasn't she hooking up with Magneto in Age of Apocalypse?
I never read Age of Apocalypse. I fell out of it very quickly.
Phil's gonna correct me.
But when she was on Savage Land, but just like she was just her and Magneto just hanging out, just doing Magneto stuff. So she's been wishy-washy in terms of her kind of allegiances, and then the growth of how she sees the world. But I mean, her Rogue getting Marvel's powers, and then that could be the gateway into her whole story. It seems like an odd character to kind of introduce the X-Men with, but
she was my favorite as a kid.
Really?
Not to jerk off to, that is. I don't know. I thought she was the hottest one. I don't know.
Psylocke was mine.
Right? I mean, now looking back, I used to like the Geostorm. Do you remember that car?
No.
It's like a clown car.
So the Geostorm it's a baby Camaro. That
I remember as a child loving that car. Now looking back, I'm like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Surprisingly roomy.
So yeah, looking back, not like I don't like Rogue,
Right.
But looking back, I'm like, why did I pick her to my favorite?
Right.
You like the southern accent. That's what it was.
Well, I didn't even know because I read the book.
Before
It was from reading.
Sugar came through.
That's true.
Darling. Sugar. She was great. That was great stuff. All right, let's continue. There's not a whole lot more.
Any of you ever got the swimsuit edition?
Oh, I did.
Yeah, I think I still have a copy.
Dude,
somewhere.
how much of a creep am I for buying the swimsuit edition?
All of us.
I know.
Come on.
Hey, I will tell you. Yes, I agree with all of us being creeps, but we were also preteens or whatever. So we're like, oh, what's this?
But see, the difference. I kept watching. I'm into hentai. Like I kept going with the cartoons.
But the funny thing about that, I would be more into that than I was into the actual swimsuit magazine. I'd be like if I had the opportunity, I would have been like, no, I'm getting this X-Men one.
I mean, I had them both.
It's like Sports Illustrated or X-Men swimsuit.
Or Marvel Illustrated. Yeah. And then like didn't Image do one, Wildcats and all that?
Yeah, and Jim Lee did this one of Fahrenheit that is definitely etched in my adolescent brain.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Holy
Come
shit.
on now.
So I was in a comic shop back in Alabama, and they had it was a little bitty comic shop I went to, tiny, about the size of this. Well, yes and no, because the other one you could go to there was a just mammoth place. They did tabletop gaming, and everybody there was an asshole, one of those kind of comic shops. So the other one was really chill. It was like same dudes working, and they had, and this was I guess 3-4 years ago. It was Street Fighter swimsuit issue comic book. I had no idea that it was that. He's like, yeah, they say, I got this one kid that comes in and anything Street Fighter, he wants 2 copies of it automatically. Like I probably got 3 in
Alabama.
Huh?
Because I don't remember living in Alabama, but okay.
Oh, okay. Got it. Just snuck down there occasionally, huh?
That's the only place you can get Street Fighter swimsuit edition, apparently. I've never heard of it.
And then our last little note is that Disney has set releases for the 2020 Marvel Star Wars stuff. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier kicks off in August, The Mandalorian in October, and then the WandaVision in December. So it'll be an exciting little fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Third and fourth quarter for that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. I'm going to look up that Fahrenheit picture.
We should. We always say it, but we never do. Post the shit in the fucking and on the page somewhere.
Yeah. It's interesting timing the way they're laying those 3 things out because they're going to overlap. You'd figure
so.
No, I don't think they are
one after another.
No, because the Marvel shows are only 6 episodes.
Okay, then you're right. So you'll get was it Winter Soldier first, and then you get Mandalorian, and then you get
makes sense.
The WandaVision.
You always have something, but what's before that though?
No, that's it.
No, but like, we have Clone Wars coming up.
Oh,
pretty soon. Right?
So yeah,
like next week or some shit.
Yes, so we have Clone Wars and then nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing. That's weird.
Except we're getting Black Widow.
The movie.
Movie, and then we're getting the Eternals, supposedly. But the Eternals is going to be, I think, in November. That's that Fahrenheit picture.
Yeah, man.
Let me see.
Etched in my brain as a young lad.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember
that. Dude, she was feeling it. She was in her bag. God bless her.
So you do understand. I know you're not into it now, but you understand, like, people like me. There's a lot of us, by the way.
Oh, I don't have any. There's no judgment on my end for people's kinks.
Not judgment, but not get. Like, I definitely have met people like I don't get it. It does nothing for me, and I'm like, I guess that makes sense because they're not like real, right?
I don't. It doesn't. It would work for me. It's not my preference. So
yeah,
it's like,
if that's the only option, I'm like,
right,
okay,
let's
get in that.
I like a banana, so to speak. But if you got a table and it's got a banana, an apple, and an orange on it, I'm going for the orange. And then I'm going for the apple. And then I'll have the banana if that's what I got. You know what I mean?
Total banana sidetrack here. Let me split off from this banana. Let me take a slide down this wet banana. So we do Walmart grocery pickup. So Kelly orders groceries, we go get them. There's a reason I'm telling you that. So she ordered bananas. And I should have taken a picture of these things. These things have like these weird ass... Like, the peel has a seam where you tear it apart. Yeah. It's got like a fucking vein running down it.
Gross.
I know, right? It's so gross. I'll send you guys a picture when I get home. Oh. It's the only time I've seen a veiny banana. If that's not the title of this episode, I don't know what is.
It's the only time I've ever seen a veiny banana. I've never seen a veiny fruit, period.
Describe to me your perfect banana. In terms of color.
It is It is definitely not green.
Not like Bobby.
And it might have just started to get some brown spots on
Yes.
it.
Okay.
I don't want it
Right
to be
there.
smushy.
No.
I want it to be firm, but I don't want it to be
Yeah, you do.
I don't want a sour, bitter aftertaste.
right. I don't want to have to have any soft spots. No soft spots. So it's, they say the trick is you get green bananas and put them in a brown paper bag.
I want that shit the same color as Baby Yoda.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to snap in his
I
banana.
want to be able to snap it in half.
Wow.
I love a green banana.
I can't because you have such weird things with taste. Like green bananas taste
It's
funny.
not a weird thing with taste.
It's
It's
texture.
texture.
It's texture.
Which I think bananas have a very strange texture.
It does.
I'm surprised you like bananas.
No, not when it's fucking green because it's like an apple.
You're not wrong.
But it's a weird. It's not only sour. There's like a weird aftertaste, tangy aftertaste to it. That I don't.
You're not wrong. But I do think that it's going to be an exciting end of the year, and I do find it
For bananas.
For bananas. Well, Food Line, not for nothing. No, I swear to God, my wife hates it, but it's the green banana capital of the world.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen a yellow banana in there. I'm like, let's buy them all. We got a lot of questions, or not a lot, but we have a fair amount. So we got one from Matt H. He said, "Hey fellas, it's been a minute, and hope this missive."
Missive is like a note.
Oh, there you go. Finds you all well. Get my thesaurus out for Matt. Would it be possible for Joe to do some podding regarding his 40K army, lore, his painting techniques, and overall strategy? I know I would be into that. I have a couple questions. Would you guys put the Doobie Brothers and Chicago in the same musical pocket? Let's do the 40K shit first, and then we'll work our way through this.
Well, that wouldn't be potting. That would more be making the video about my stuff. Because I don't have.
Well, I guess
Unless like I do something
just-
with Adam
just
or something.
For clarification, Matt found Nerd Rage
Through Beer and Bolters.
Beer and Bolters.
Yeah, so like I mean I could do something with Adam maybe, but like I mean I'm not opposed to making a video, but I wouldn't. I'm not sure how much interest that would be for me to put the work in.
Well, why do you choose the army that you've chosen? What army that you choose? Is
Primary Space Marines,
what was it?
the new Space Marines.
Yeah,
Space Marines in general.
What chapter?
My own.
Oh, yeah,
So there's my like I wrote my own stories to it.
So do you have a lore for your?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
Well, they are. This is my fanfic.
Oh God, I'm gonna love this.
No, it's like they're like a remnants of a bunch of people. You know how they're like super fanatical, right? In the future, and like they just fucking kick people out and leave people behind. So these started as a bunch of fucking ragtag people who got together, like fuck them, we can do our own thing, and they go around and pick up all the stragglers.
I think that's cool.
And they also make new ones, but they also like, yeah, we're not gonna follow the rules. We're gonna.
Why'd you go with a black armor choice?
Why'd I go with black everything?
Well, no,
Other than-
so I understand that. I just mean from like a painting perspective. Like I feel like it's
hard.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
hard, but I love black.
Right.
Once you go,
Well, that's what they say.
I mean, like I always
Yeah,
wear
you
black.
always wear black. I usually wear black as well.
Like I've always loved
And my
black.
father used to say, I'm not sure, this is a quote of my father's that I'm a big fan of, I'm not sure why a woman would wear any other color when she could always wear black.
I agreed.
Agreed.
But yeah, it's hard. I mean, that's the toughest thing because I'm pretty good at painting other colors, especially red, which I also love, but not as much as I love black. And the reason I don't have more stuff done and painted is because I chose black, which sucks.
Yeah, it's hard. It's just hard to, you can't really shade it.
Exactly. So
And-
you're
and
limited.
you're- and
Just
you-
like white is hard because you can't highlight it.
Right, exactly. So like,
You know what I love on a black paint job? Mixes of flats and glosses.
It breaks it
Love
up.
that.
yeah.
I break it up with
agree.
metallics and or varying shade, quote unquote, shades of black because not all
Metallic
blacks
blacks
look the same.
look fantastic.
Yeah.
So you chose black because it's your favorite color.
Yep.
Okay. And what sort? How do you, in terms of playing? What is your general strategy? If you're willing, if you're willing to let the cat out of the bag,
Close
Joseph.
combat. I love everything.
So you just want to get into the shits.
Yeah, like it's dumb to bring a knife to a gunfight, but that's just what I like. And you know, like just rationally speaking, it doesn't make sense why people are fucking using swords in the future with missiles.
Correct.
But that's just what I like.
And so you're saying that you
Like Blood Angels.
You enjoy that element of the game more so than necessarily winning.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I get
I
that.
enjoy playing without winning.
Okay.
Of course, I like winning.
Sure.
But I don't have to win.
Right.
But it's just boring to me to play a game where I'm sitting there and I just roll dice every turn to shoot and I'm not doing anything. There's no point for me to play.
I get it. I think that covers a good base of it. So Would you put Doobie Brothers and Chicago in the same musical pocket? I guess so. I do want to say that when the Doobie Brothers split is when I find their music more enjoyable.
When Michael McDonald left?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I don't put his music in the same pocket for what it's worth. So, I guess roughly yes. I would say yes. I'm not a big Chicago fan either. I'll put that out there as well.
Peter Cetera. I can just name him because I knew he had a solo career after.
Yes.
I'm not. I probably know all the songs by heart, but couldn't tell you who sings what because I probably do think they're pretty similar.
Yeah. Let's see. My girl insists that they are not. And why is any band named after a place hot steaming caca?
Yeah, I guess he doesn't like Chicago.
I guess he doesn't like Chicago. For example, Chicago.
Yeah, they have the best pizza,
he said, for example, Chicago and Boston. I don't think they have the best pizza, but I do enjoy their pizza. And I like Chicago. I always say,
the parts of Chicago we go to.
Right, which is, I mean, like, I think that city gets a bad rep. Like, it has an area that needs some fucking help.
Every
no
city,
doubt
right?
about it.
Every city has an area near, like Southeast.
Correct. But, or you know, I mean, the majority of Baltimore, you know,
except for the harbor.
Exactly. Well, exactly. I always say, like, you know, what makes Baltimore different, and I get the impression Detroit as well. I've never been there, but is that Baltimore has its good places, whereas like most cities, in my opinion, Chicago included, has its rough areas. Baltimore is a rough place that has a couple good areas.
Yeah, like there's the roads run parallel, like in a city.
Yeah,
a grid.
like a
So
grid.
like there's the harbor. There's one road over, and then you don't go the road over after that to park.
Yeah.
Like if I can't find parking in the first two fucking rows, I'm not going to the third row.
And by the time you get to Saratoga, like you're in the shits.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast that changes.
Yeah,
because it's like you go from bright families walking expensive ass stores, and then
Yeah. It's like you go from like you know, Chick-fil-A and Best Buy and Fogo de Chao.
Yeah, Fogo de Chao is fucking there.
Yeah, and then like 2 blocks over, you're at the corner store.
Yeah,
you know, and it's the same thing. Like it runs pretty much up from Federal Hill down to Fells Point and then over to Saratoga, and that's, you know. But Baltimore has changed. You know, like, I mean, I remember that you couldn't go downtown. Like.
Yeah, at all. Yeah, I remember
you know, like like because they had like Murphy Holmes was there and everything else, and like, you know, guys be hanging out, waiting all day to get you, you know. And I'll never forget, I was a kid. My mom was walking fast and left me, and I was like, I was
on purpose.
Yeah, well, I mean, she
probably
just just neglectful, you know. And this guy came up to me, and he was like, you got any money? And I was like 5 or 6.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I
reached, you were like 10 at least.
I reached in my pocket, and I had a quarter that I think I took out of my mom's car that was like sitting somewhere, and I was like, here, and I gave it to him, and he's like, thanks, man. And then he like grabbed my shoulders. This is a grown ass man. I'm like Selena's age, and it was like, don't let them motherfuckers fuck with you, and then walked away, and I'll never fucking forget it.
Wow.
I think that sets Bobby's personality from that point on. That had more impact in your life than you think.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so secondly, which fandom do you find the most toxic?
All of them.
Is it due to the fact that as a fandom grows in numbers, it attracts more marginal Morlocks who only get off when shitting on everything? Or is that fellas who are into giant robots have an axe to grind about everything to begin with? So I think that the Star Wars fandom is probably the most toxic. And I think that Transformers and Star Wars both have toxic fandoms, and I think they both have toxic fandoms for the same exact reason. Their media has been released over such a large period of time that it has really latched on to different generations and different elements of the fan base. And then when you look at it all as a franchise, like, I'm a huge Transformers fan, but I may not like anything that the guy next to me likes regarding Transformers, you know? And vice versa. And I think Star Wars is the same way. There's prequel fans. There's Rebels fans. There's people that hate Rebels. There's people that hate the Clone Wars. There's people that I remember when people hated it. I remember people hated Ahsoka. Like when Ahsoka.
Really?
Like, oh my God!
I remember that.
I think she's kind of become more beloved now, but like.
I mean, she's a selling point now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a whole generation of people that
grown up with her.
That was all they knew.
Yep.
They watched. That's probably their first introduction. Is Cartoon Network. Star Wars.
You know, there's people that love the sequel trilogy. There's people that hate the sequel trilogy. There's people that love the prequel trilogy. There's people that hate the prequel trilogy. There's people that love Beast Wars. There's people that hate Beast Wars. Like, so I think that they both have the same problems for the exact same reasons.
I never thought about it that way.
So the opposite side of the coin. Something. Well, hang on. Let me ask this first. Do you think that it's the the fiction that's out there versus the collectible aspect of it that makes the divisiveness, because that there's so many different angles to take on the fiction versus what you actually get as a collectible. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would imagine that the people that are more into the collectible aspect and less into the fiction probably have less issues with the fandom.
Okay. Saying that to say, so the Mythic Legions community, pretty calm and collected, because there's no fiction.
Yeah.
There's no fiction. There's nothing that people
There's
are arguing.
no ideology to latch onto.
Yeah, like if there's a guy that loves the figures, that loves the transforming, the engineering, and all that, he's gonna love Tigertron as much as he's gonna love Hound, because like none of the other shit matters.
Matt Baldwin.
A perfect example.
Like he said, is it a Transformer?
Yep,
I'm getting it.
Then he's getting it.
Yep.
He loves it all.
Yep.
You know, so like that makes sense. But it's like it's the people that I only like the toys because they reflect something I love. You know, it's not the other way around at all for me. So like, there's franchises that I like I like Game of Thrones. You know, but I don't really love Game of Thrones. So, like, I don't buy the collectibles. You know, like, I need to love what the collectible stands for. I think if you're the other way around, it's just, life's going to be easier for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree.
Great questions, though, man. Let's see what we have next. He says, I myself, much like Snack Chris, am looking forward to the G.I. Joe stuff. This might be the first line that I will go all in on. For some good, easy Joe reads, I recommend Hearts and Minds by Max Brooks. Great little vignettes that are really good.
Is that World War Z, Max Brooks?
That's Fax Brooks.
It's Garth Brooks.
Yes, there is a
Darth
major...
Brooks.
You know, I'm going to go with that. I have a shirt.
You have a shirt for that reason.
Soft, comfortable shirt.
Yes, there is a major blood story, but sadly no crystal ball story. Check it out. Thanks for your time. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Matt. Then we have Christopher. He said, okay, to print, read aloud, you know what I mean. Hey, Nerd Rage Radio crew. I hope this is the correct email address, as some previous descriptions have info@nerdrage.com. Yeah, don't use that one. Anybody that wants to send a question, nerdradiomail@gmail.com, or Google longest email address in history, ours should come up first. In response to episode 229, foot full of dollars. Still works. Dinosaurs the show was pretty trash, but as opposed to Savage Dragon, I think The Rock could play Allo and John Cena can play Genghis Rex, the evil leader of the Tyrannos, if they went live action for whatever reason. Bobby's 100% on the money that the Dinosaurs theme rocks hardcore. Here's an extended version with more sauce than you can pour on a saucer for you to air, drum, and guitar it. I'm going to listen to that immediately. There's even been a fan-made metal-themed version, and he links that as well.
Nice.
Sony Pictures Home Entertainment currently owns the rights to Dinosaurs show and had the entire series, all 65 episodes, to stream on Amazon Prime last year, no less, in an amazing quality as I've ever seen per review videos. Way better than the YouTube videos they got struck down a while back, likely due to their release. Unfortunately, I didn't know it was on Prime at the time. That one opportunity Amazon had to provide me something that was actually related to what I wanted to see. It's not just Netflix. Switching topics. When I was younger, I was only aware of Dino Riders on VHS, which I still have. So I was exposed to Udi Harpaz of Digimon music fame. Joe may know, but for you, Bobby,
love Digimon.
You may know him of the Centurions intro, perhaps. I do know that.
Also love Centurions.
With his incredible theme and score. I only found out about the TV version intro and public domain-ish, unarousing original soundtrack, both being hot garbage, and he links that as well. To answer Marilyn Phil's original question, Dino Riders is owned by Mattel. They bought Tycho, i.e. the T-Rex from Toy Story. Mattel was going to have a live-action film made a few years back. They were looking for script writers, and supposedly there was an outline, but no actual script. Mattel also started some toy designs, but then Jurassic World, the first one, was announced, and they put the brakes on Dino Riders.
Makes sense.
Yes. Jurassic World film made lots of money, but there was little talk of an actual sequel. Hasbro's toys were considered hot trash, i.e. Raptors that didn't have their signature large toe claw, and many of the figures were not molded for balance and fell over due to lack of articulation of posing. All Hasbro had to do was reissue their fantastic 25th anniversary G.I. Joe molds for humans, then come up with at least a third of the articulation that goes into Marvel Legends figure for a ton of dinosaurs, and they would have made out like bandits. There are no licensing fees for dinosaur names and toys, aside from the Jurassic Park World brand itself and possibly Indoraptor, Indominus Rex, or any other made-up species. What a failure on their part. Meanwhile, Mattel restarted the Dino Rider film and began preliminary dinosaur design for action figures. Again, no mention of a working script. Keep in mind that Mattel had been throwing out Dino Rider-esque themed toys for the kiddies in the Imagine Next toy line for years, freaking kudos with the T-Rex. Mattel finds out that Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is being made, but that the license itself is being shopped around as well due to Hasbro catching flack on poor toy designs. Mattel gets it, and fellow YouTube Pixel Dan debuts quite a lot of figures in the video of New York Toy Fair, and a few more at San Diego Comic-Con. If you had time to watch either, you'll notice that many of them are famous dinosaur staples, but other than odd choices, mind you, that are more relevant to Dino Riders itself. Despite all of that, reboot of the Dino Rider series or a live-action film or not, we can continue to watch the original VHS versions. Keep up the great work. Nerd Rage Radio, harness the power, Yahoo. Thank you for your time. Crimson Raptors on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. So thank you.
Thanks for the info.
For the info.
So do you think that has anything to do with the fucking things that's coming out now?
I think, well, it's a UK license is
Right,
what they've
but
required,
I mean,
so
like,
who knows?
It sounds like, because for me, it's like, oh, Dino Rider, that's out of the blue, right?
Yeah.
But maybe it's something that's been talked about in the industry for a while
been
to somehow come
up.
back.
Yeah.
And let's see this Paul question. Nope. That's the old one. So I think we're good. I'm going to tack on to this. That's the thing I forgot. My Nerd Week. I saw Birds of Prey.
Oh, yeah. How was it?
It's terrible. I'm going to tack on.
Mostly people have been saying it's terrible on my feed.
It's really
except
bad.
for a couple.
To me, it's what the way that people talk about the DC movies, where I'm like, are you watching the same movie I'm watching when people talk about the DC movies? This is that movie for me. Like this, I'm like, nope, this is really, really bad. It's a mess. It's a complete fucking mess.
I wonder what's up with a couple of people that really loved it.
I mean, you like it, you win. Of course.
Cody likes everything, so
Did he?
I don't know if you've seen it or not. So, what do you think they were trying to accomplish with this movie? I didn't go see it with you guys.
I think they were trying to capitalize on Harley.
Yeah, and they failed.
I mean, we'll see.
Well, let me ask you
There were
this.
6 people in the theater.
That's what I heard too.
Percentage
like
wise,
bad opening, right?
how much of the was it 2 hours ish?
147, I think.
Okay, how much of that is Harley on screen?
Most.
Okay,
Most.
Was it?
It's definitely a Harley
do
story.
they develop any of the other characters?
So here's the thing. They do.
Okay.
They do. But it doesn't. They don't blend.
Yeah.
So like, had they done a Harley movie with the tone of the Harley movie, I think it would have worked fine. Had they done a Birds of Prey movie with some of the tone that they capture in on the Birds of Prey, I think that could have been fine. The two together,
That's a mess.
they do neither of their counterparts a service.
Okay.
Was it promoted well? I
don't think so.
I didn't see much of it.
I didn't see much of
I mean,
it
I've
either.
seen trailer
So-
here and there, but
Yeah, I mean, I saw they had the costumes at
it looks trash
New York Comic Con, and
to me. Anyway, do you like any?
I didn't really know it was coming out either. So that's a shame.
I don't
It's
like,
also rated R, right?
I don't think they do Cassandra Cain credit.
Batgirl.
Where she's like a child.
Oh, is she going to be Batgirl?
So let's not shit on it just for sake of shit on it. Let me give them my there's a couple things that are great about it. Margot Robbie is still fantastic, perfectly casted character, and Phil and I go on to talk, as you'll hear here shortly. DC doesn't get credit for the amount of terrific casting that they have done. Like, Henry Cavill is a fucking perfect Superman. Margot Robbie is a fucking perfect Harley.
Ben Affleck's the perfect Bat. Jared Leto is the perfect.
No, I'm not saying they've done bad.
Yeah. But I think it's because they're
Gal Gadot.
I was just getting ready to say Gal Gadot is a
think-
fucking perfect Wonder Woman.
I think it's because it's a mixed bag that they don't get the praise that they should for the right ones.
Yeah, and then
Right,
you
because it's
can't-
like a shot, hit or miss.
I'm sorry, let me interrupt you real quick. Permission. To
I know
come
where you're
aboard?
going. I knew you
Permission
were
to come aboard.
So, like, I'm not saying that they've all been casted perfectly. And don't get me wrong. So here's the thing: is like, it always comes down to them, right? It always comes down to the comparison. I don't think that a lot of the Marvel characters are casted perfectly. I think Cap is. I think Thor is.
I think Loki is.
I think Loki is. I don't think is Hulk. I don't think.
Well, Ed Norton.
I don't think.
Sorry.
I honestly like. He's redefined the character, so it is what it is. But on paper, Robert Downey Jr. is not a great casting for Iron Man, aside from the fact that he was a real life drunk.
But
and honestly,
that's
that's
become Iron Man. Though.
Yeah,
Right. That's the
he's
difference.
redefined
the comic
the
book
character.
is now Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, and there's very few people that, I mean, you could maybe say Heath did it with Joker, but there's very few people that are able to do that. So it's not to discredit him. It's just to say that on paper, this, you know what I mean?
But I think we were talking about on screen though, right?
Well, but it is on screen from paper. Like he has changed what the character is, so now he feels appropriate. But prior to
Right, but that was a natural thing. That's what I'm saying. Like it ended up, I'm saying it ended up working.
It ended up working, yes.
Right, but like these other casting has not. Well, I guess Aquaman is working, right? People see him as Aquaman, so that works. So you can't really say it's bad casting if it's working.
That's
but
fair.
some of the other ones.
But I think I'm not speaking in terms of success as much as I'm speaking like objectively about the character and then the portrayal of that character. So like I agree with you that Aquaman was casted well in a sense because people like him for the first time ever. But objectively, that's not a good Aquaman. So like I agree with you that he is a good Aquaman in the sense that Robert Downey Jr. is a good Iron Man. But objectively, looking at who that character is and the portrayal of that character, I don't think that Robert Downey Jr. is a great choice for that character. I'll say this in the same breath: I like him better. I like this Iron Man better than the comic book Iron Man.
I used to not like Iron Man.
Yeah. But yeah, so like Gal Gadot, fucking like the Wonder Woman, Superman casting alone is like it's perfection.
Yeah, it's really good.
The cop, the agent from Suicide Squad. I always forget her name.
Montoya?
No. The heavy set black lady.
I
always forget her name, but she's fucking great. She's perfect. The Montoya.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, Rosie Perez.
Yeah.
Like in this world, with
what?
Batman being older and Montoya being an older cop, she's fucking perfect. She does a kick-ass job.
Good.
So like some of the stuff, I'm just amazed at how well they got it. And then juxtaposed, of course, with some of the stuff they haven't got right. But like, I don't even hate Jared Leto's Joker. I really don't. He's not my favorite.
I don't mind it either.
Yeah, but I don't hate it at all.
They get
and there's times for me where he feels like the Joker, like when he wants Harley to fuck Tattoo, like that feels like the Joker to me.
Yeah.
When he's like, when he starts straddling the security guard in Suicide Squad, like it feels like the Joker to me. Just in the sense, like I don't know if this dude is gonna kiss him or fucking slit his throat, and that to me is the terrifying element of the Joker.
I mean, what I liked about that character is that I guess he came across more of a crime lord and a gangster than just this crazy motherfucker running around.
Yeah,
which I like that at, but I guess that's also that's Black Mask in the DC universe. It's several other characters that could be portrayed that way. Which,
so speaking of poor casting,
honestly, that was the one reason I wanted to see that is because Obi-Wan was in it.
Oh, dude, he's not good.
Okay,
he's not.
I'll just wait for.
He's
I'll
not
wait for
good,
a stream.
or he's
to come
not
out.
good Black Mask.
He's not a good Black Mask.
Do they?
It's a different take on Black Mask, and I'm
Then
not.
you don't like it.
It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem as like he doesn't seem like he has his shit together like the Black Mask usually does. I feel like.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, not good. I'll tack that on here because the show's a little short.
All right.
And that should do it. Shout out to the rest of the Cool Table Network, Shadowcast Uncut, Enter the Realm, Stasis Lock, Building Up to It, Fresh Communications, Breaking the Mold, and Verbally Challenged. And shout out to the rest of the Nerd Rage team, Raul on Instagram and Dante on Facebook, Phil on Twitter, and responsible for our notes, as well as Manny. Please get in touch with me, Manny. Make sure you're okay. And Gort and Andy and all the people helped me with the Star Wars stuff. And Esteban.
There you go.
Esteban.
I was waiting for it.
So I appreciate all that stuff. And with that,
Fabulabius.
Tasty taint.
Tight Dick Player. Bonus stuff coming right now. So here we go. A couple of things just to get out of the way real quick. I don't know if this is going to be a Patreon exclusive thing or if this is going to be tacked on to the end of episode 233. It kind of depends on how 233 goes in terms of time and how this goes and where this goes. So I'm sitting here with Marilyn Phil.
What's up?
And we just saw Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey. We'll do spoilers and non-spoilers.
Okay.
I don't think this needs to be too long of a conversation.
Probably not.
Let's start with a score. We're going to start with non-spoilers.
Okay.
And we'll do good, bad, and ugly non-spoilers.
I always forget you guys do letter score now.
Oh, it doesn't fucking matter. The joke is that we don't know what the fuck we're going to do.
For me, this is a D+. Probably is that equivalent to like a 4 or 5?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm giving it a 3 out of 10.
Okay.
I think this movie's dog shit. I really do.
I think it's at the level, if not a little bit, under Suicide Squad.
Okay, so let's do...
Because I didn't like Suicide Squad.
Let's do good, bad, ugly.
Okay.
Let's rank the DCEU films.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll do spoilers. You down for that?
All right, yeah, that's cool.
Okay, so good. I have 3 things. They're very clear to me and distinct.
I liked Margot Robbie's performance. She's about on par with what she did in Suicide Squad.
She is the perfect Harley Quinn.
Yep,
they couldn't have chosen a better Harley Quinn.
Period. I agree completely. I like Ewan McGregor's performance.
Okay.
I like what he did, even though it's not what I feel is the character from the books.
Okay.
I think his performance was interesting, and was very dynamic.
And you are entitled to that opinion, Phil.
Okay. What else? I'm really reaching here. I like what is her name? She's very famous, but
Rosie Perez?
Yeah, I like her performance.
She is the perfect Montoya choice. I agree. She's for an older Montoya, which makes sense because it's an older Batman.
Exactly. So it seems they're keeping in the EU, even though the EU is semi-dissolved.
Correct, but it seems like if Ben Affleck is Batman of this universe,
that she should be the right age.
She should be Montoya. The right age to be Montoya. Yeah. I agree 100%.
Kind of a disgrace cop,
and I think she did great.
Yeah. That stuff I like because I like Mary Elizabeth Winstead as an actress.
Okay, who did she play?
She was Huntress.
I'm not good with names.
Huntress.
Okay. Trash.
Yeah, this
Trash
was not her.
Yeah, trash performance.
I think
it's not that it's a bad performance. It's just a poorly written character.
Yeah, I think if she'd been given a better character right, she'd have done better. Because I've seen her do good in other films, and it's not
her. I think she probably did what they told her to do.
Yeah, I think she did probably well because she was very action oriented, and is what the character
quirky
needs.
And awkward, and socially awkward.
Yeah,
and
I think she fit probably what was written on the page very well, but what was written on the page was dog shit. Mm-hmm. So.
Okay, so I agree. Margot Robbie and Rosie Perez
That's about all the good I got.
are the first two and most outstanding 2 things about it. The only thing I have for a third thing is that and let me emphasize, some of the acrobatics of Harley Quinn felt dead on right.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah,
that's all I got.
Yeah,
that's the
good.
That's the only redeemable things.
Some of the acrobatics reminded me of the cartoon.
Correct, and the comics.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's if I were to kind of go out on the ledge, Phil, and pick something else, I would say that, and I'm going to circle back to this in some section of this conversation. There are some times where the tone of this movie feels very right.
Okay,
and those times I liked.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I'm going to say about that. What about your bad?
I don't feel the title matches the film.
I agree. Well,
I don't at all. I think it sets up for what the title should be by the end, but it doesn't.
So I hear you.
I don't agree with it being called Birds of Prey.
But it's not called Birds of Prey.
Yeah, that's true, which is why they threw that in there, because that was not the original title. They changed it because they realized what they had.
Correct.
But to me, that title still doesn't really fit.
I'm going to write that down because I want to come back to that in my ugly, because it's one of my big uglies regarding this. But go ahead.
That's probably an ugly, actually. I don't know. For me, it's hard to dissort bad from ugly.
It's okay. No one's going to hold us accountable. If they do, it'll be in the YouTube comments. I had a nasty little YouTube comment. I'll probably talk about it in this next week's episode, but not nasty, but just I think inappropriate. I had an inappropriate YouTube comment, and
I'm surprised you don't get more of those.
Well, I suppose I do, but like kind of off base, in my opinion. But I can't even be bothered even though I have a lot to say about it. The idea of clicking it, going into
You're not really responding to everybody anymore, right?
Pressing send, it all seems like so much these days, Phil.
You're not
when I'm trying to get 1,000 fucking things done. But anyway, back to birds of prey.
I feel the characters don't really match the characters that I know. So I guess if
aside from Harley Quinn, and Montoya,
and Montoya,
I would agree.
Even though I like Ewan McGregor's performance, that's not the Black Mask that I know.
I agree with that statement entirely.
My bad is Victor Zsasz. I didn't like how his character was portrayed. It doesn't fit for me because Victor Zsasz is supposed to be raven.
So I did get a psycho vibe from him, but it was a different type of psycho vibe. It was kind of in the same. So
he's supposed to be completely lethal, and I don't get that vibe in this.
Yes, I agree with that.
He seems kind of like a dumbass who's just trying to please.
I'm going to shoot him.
Mask.
I'm going to shoot him some bail, though. Okay. If that's the Joker that exists in that world,
okay,
I can see how that could be the Zsasz that exists in that world.
Fair enough.
Not my Zsasz. Don't care for him much at all, but I can see how he fits in with that Joker. Not that I think that they're even thinking that deep into it, but
they're not.
They're obviously not.
I agree. I agree. We are in.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in the script writing session and plot writing session of this film and saying,
well, as much shit as they're cranking out in there, I'm sure there's plenty of flies on the wall film.
I would like to see just how far away the stack of comic books they had as a reference file and how far away that was from them. And if they even bothered to flip through a couple.
It was in the dumpster out back. Jim Lee sent them a few over. They put them in the dumpster out back.
Was there a DC executive in the room?
I don't know.
Like a DC fan in the room?
Well, Jeff Johns is the creative director of creative licensing regarding distribution and branding of the DC brand for comics and logos. So he may have been involved in some regard, but I'm not sure in what capacity.
Probably very far away. A couple city blocks.
Possibly.
I guess that's...
Phil, I think this is the worst comic book movie I've ever seen. Well, not ever.
No. The Spirit was very bad.
This is the worst one I've seen in a very long time.
Okay. I could probably agree with that.
I can go on and on about the bad, but... I think that a lot of it feels like television to me. It doesn't feel like a movie. It feels like a lot, especially the action sequences, especially the end action sequence where they're all fighting and the cameras in that one room kind of moving around. It feels like TV to me. It doesn't feel like a film. It feels amateurish. It feels like it was made by somebody who couldn't make the cut for TV. I mean, for film.
For a full feature film.
Yeah. Yep. I think, like you, Black Canary doesn't feel like Black Canary. Nope. Huntress doesn't feel like Huntress. Cassandra Cain doesn't feel like Cassandra Cain. Zsasz doesn't feel like Zsasz. And to me, Black Mask doesn't feel like Black Mask. Everything feels off except for those two characters. Mm-hmm. They're also the two most established you know what I mean? So
two most established
maybe you get what you pay for.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think a lot of it is the writing and the portrayal. Mm-hmm. I think that I really want to get to this.
Okay.
So let me lead off with the ugly.
All right, go ahead.
This movie doesn't know what it wants to be.
Okay.
Sometimes it wants to be a Harley Quinn movie, and I think there is a decent Harley Quinn movie in there, conceptually.
To me, that's what it should have been just titled, Harley Quinn. I don't understand why they needed the Birds of Prey at all.
Sometimes it wants to be a Birds of Prey movie, and I think there's a decent Birds of Prey movie in there somewhere, conceptually, but the two of them together make both worse. Somehow, to me.
Maybe the last scene it felt more like Birds of Prey when they're all fighting in the same room, but not really.
No, that's not fair. I know what you're saying, but that's not fair. When they go into some of the origins of some of the characters, like that feels like something that would belong in a Birds of Prey movie. I could tie that into Black Mask or Zsasz and have a Birds of Prey movie that just centered around that character. Or a Harley movie that centered around something else. But the two of them together just don't mix for me. It just doesn't blend well to me. It feels forced and sloppy.
Yeah, it does feel forced.
Jeepers Creepers. When she said in the movie, she said, "Sheesh kebab." That was another part that I liked, but that's how I felt about the movie. Sheesh kebab.
She's good at one-liners for her character.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where her character is anyway.
That's probably my biggest ugly. That and that some of the fight scenes seem very TV and like sometimes it was like a violent like kill 'em all type of movie, and then sometimes it was like a Fast and the Furious kung fu type movie, and sometimes it was like I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
What does this want to be?
This felt like a mixture of Fast and the Furious and Suicide Squad to me.
Yeah, it felt like a mixture of Fast and the Furious, a Marvel Netflix TV show. And
I like the Netflix and Marvel stuff more than I like this.
So some of this feels a lot like when I think of Iron Fist and his girlfriend fighting together and talking together. Okay. Some of this movie feels like that to me.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay.
So like sometimes I feel like it wants to be that. Sometimes I feel like it wants to be serious. Sometimes I feel like it wants to be playful. Sometimes I feel like it wants to be a comedy. Sometimes I feel like it wants to be a drama. Sometimes I feel like it wants, this movie. This is a dragon that doesn't know how to be a dragon. It's another fucking Gorbash. Okay, what about your ugly?
My ugly is probably Cassandra Cain. Mm-hmm. Now, I admit I don't know what has happened to that character since the New 52. But the established Cassandra Cain that I know was brought in '99 and was part of the Batman No Man's Land and is I can't remember if she's mute or if she just doesn't speak much.
A vow of silence.
Yeah, but I can't recall either. She is like the 15 or 16-year-old girl that has the sewn-up mouth
and
as
the daughter
Batgirl.
Of a killer, I believe.
Yeah, she is the most badass female in the Bat universe and can take on pretty much anybody, including Batman himself, and hold her own.
She stepped up to take the mantle of Batman when Batman disappeared.
Yeah.
That's not this character at all.
The only thing that is the same is she's Asian. But this is some streetwise kid who is a pickpocket who has no fighting ability ever. What's up?
Which I don't know if I need this kid to fight.
Yeah, I don't know.
But at the same time, I don't need this kid to be like. I
don't need her to be Cassandra Cain.
I would prefer if she just didn't speak through this movie. Like she obviously had some stuff going on at home. I'd have been okay if she was traumatized by that. We could get into that maybe a little later, and we could see. This just seems like in name only, in skin tone, and race only.
Kind of like Huntress.
Yeah.
Except Huntress had a motorcycle. That's about the same thing.
Yes. Okay. All right. So
and a crossbow.
All right. So let's rank the DC movies.
So we're including all the EU movies?
Yes.
So this is not the Nolan Batman films?
No.
Okay.
Just the DCEU. So I think that Man of Steel is the best DC movie made from this universe. I would then place BVS Extended Edition right afterward. Me. I would then place Wonder Woman after that.
Okay.
Then I would place Shazam, then Aquaman, then Justice League, then Suicide Squad, and then this.
And the Joker's not part of the DCU.
Correct.
Okay. So I agree with Man of Steel. My number 2 is probably Wonder Woman. My number 3 is Shazam. My number 4 is Aquaman. I have never seen the extended cut of BVS, and I can't stand the theatrical release. So that's going to fall under Justice League for me. And then Suicide Squad, and then this.
Yeah, this is by far the worst. And we both agree on the best.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into some spoiler talk. And we were saying we don't plan on this being too long of a conversation. We're going to get into it. I'm going to give you till 100, 99, 98, 97. They look fucking stupid in their superhero suits.
Yes, they do.
They look fucking stupid.
Why? By the end, when they give Huntress finally a mask, she's in this baggy outfit. And look, I don't care about a skin-tight suit.
Correct.
She can be given like the same shit that Black Widow's given in Marvel. She should have tactile. She has tactical gear.
She should have had tactical gear with.
She doesn't have to have the cape in the comics because that's ridiculous.
Agreed.
But it works for the comics, whatever. But she's on a bike. She has no tactical gear at all.
Tactical gear with a 4-arm crossbow. That should have been her move.
And she had like a regular crossbow. She had wacky glitter makeup around her eyes. It's like
she didn't take herself seriously.
No.
and then somehow the audience is supposed to take her seriously.
Yeah.
She has a very serious backstory that's told very well.
Yeah, the scene where her family gets killed is great.
And the tone of that feels great. DC operates best when it plays it like Goodfellas.
Okay.
When it plays it, even when it does fantastic shit, but the tone of the movie is that it takes itself seriously, that's when it's best. Man of Steel takes itself seriously. He's flying around in a blue and red suit, but it never feels like you're supposed to laugh at him.
No.
That's where DC works. DC should not ever try to be Marvel. The character, I don't mean any offense to anyone. The characters aren't as fucking goofy. So when the Marvel characters laugh at themselves and we laugh at them and we all laugh together, it works. But when the DC characters do it, it doesn't work. Because the fucking dickhead that works at Rite Aid but then goes out and saves the fucking day wearing a spider suit is funny. The god that chooses to be a servant isn't. It's not the right way to approach this universe. This universe operates best when it's serious. The Nolan films work. The 89 Batman works. The fucking Man of Steel works. BVS Uncut to me works. Wonder Woman works. And they all take themselves seriously. When they stop taking themselves seriously, they start sucking. And it's a range of suck. Sometimes they suck a little. And sometimes they suck a lot.
Sometimes they're this. Black Canary, the end outfit she has when they're going to be the real Birds of Prey or a version of...
Trash.
No, the end outfit...
Of who?
Of Canary, when she finally has her final outfit.
Terrible.
They didn't do...
Terrible.
It doesn't look like comics, but it looks a lot better than...
It doesn't look like... It looks like she's... It looks like Dazzler. She had bell bottoms on, for Christ's sake.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It was like a crush velvet blue suit with fishnet a shirt underneath.
I can see what they're trying to do because
they
were trying to emulate the jacket she has in the books, which has fishnet in the shoulder pads and stuff.
So
design wise,
I think it would have been much easier to have like a little jumpsuit and a fucking leather jacket on.
Okay,
and you look like you're ready. You change it's not fucking rocket science. Like you change the dynamics of that nightclub they're in, where she's not singing "It's a Man's World" by James Brown, but instead she's doing some sort of punk rock shit. Mm-hmm. And then at the end she's wearing the leather jacket and all that. And now somehow you've stayed more true to that character. But instead now she looks like a fucking jackass from the 70s. She looks like she rolled out of the fucking Boogie Nights deleted scenes. And she's fighting crime in a fucking warehouse. It's just dumb. And like, who was the other one in there? Montoya. She's got a fucking suit.
Well, they gave her almost like an old Harley Quinn suit, that just happened to be bulletproof, like a one of the bustier things to protect her.
Let's see what else I hate about this, because I don't have a whole lot that I like, but I do. Like I said, so the fighting, right? The choreography and fuck all the other fighting, but the choreography with Harley, when she does
some of the gymnastic stuff look good.
Yes, it doesn't look. It looks fucking perfect. There's two types of fighting that she does. One that looks fucking stupid when she's fucking throwing bows and shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
But when she's got like the baseball bat,
not only when she has the baseball bat,
flipping around,
but when she's flipping around and she's doing cartwheels and she's using the momentum of her acrobatics and gymnastics to kind of I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe that.
Looks like the character that I know.
But like when she's when it's like some fucking dude that's like 8 times her size and she punches him in the face and the dude flies back 5 feet. I'm like, I don't believe this. No. and fuck the sex of it, right? If it was a fucking Gina Carano, and she punched Gina Carano in the face,
Gina Carano would laugh at her and destroy her.
I don't buy it. So that was unpleasant for me to watch. Let's see what else. The Huntress being having Asperger's was like Asperger's Huntress.
Yeah,
it's not good.
She seemed like she was a little bit on spectrum.
It's not good. It's not a good choice for her. She should be
She should be extremely confident and
tactical,
and extremely tactical,
serious,
and always thinking about what move she's making next.
Like,
and that wasn't what she was.
She was fucking goofy. Like, she was goofy. It was like a goofy. So some scenes, like I said, like her origin scene, like seems super serious. I'm super invested in it. I'm buying into it. I have this pathos, and like all of this is working. And then sometimes it feels like a superhero movie, like scary movie or epic movie, where they're like making fun.
They're making fun of the original
superhero genre.
Yeah.
Do one
or the other.
The other.
Because this seemed like a mix, and they didn't know if they wanted to make fun of the genre or be part of the genre.
Correct.
Yeah. It seemed to waver back and forth a little bit.
I don't like Harley's outfit in all of it. I'm going to say that. I don't like the
Look, she's gone through so many outfits in the books. Like, what would have made you happy? I'm just curious.
I don't know. But
I don't care enough about the character.
So here,
like the Jester costume always works for her. It's her.
Yeah, I love that. But it would look goofy in the movie,
Yeah,
and I get
would.
that. But like, you take the Daddy's Little Monster outfit, right?
Yeah, that she had in Suicide Squad.
Yep, never seen that in the books. Never.
No.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen it, but it feels like Harley to me. This one doesn't feel like Harley to me, and it feels less like Harley at the end in that gold
70s,
jumper,
70s overalls with those roller skates.
Something that Bobby Brown would have wore. Yeah, I'm not crazy about it. Let's see what else stuck out to me. I don't like Black Mask at all. At all. And I feel
what did you think about the look of the mask when he actually put it on?
It's okay. I'm not crazy about it either.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was cool looking, but
the only thing that makes me buy into it is that little scene where he shows that he's into masks.
Yeah, what I can't remember from the book does he wear it just because he's into masks, or is he scarred and he can't take it off?
I think he's scarred and he can't take it off.
That's what I thought too.
But in the movie when he's like doing all the African mask stuff, like that was fucking cool. And they're not even like the shrunken heads and shit, like all that. Like that was fucking like, okay, I'm making a connection there. But I feel like he feels like the 2020 Jim Carrey Riddler to me, like in the way he approached the character, like just so over the top and whoop, 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 whoop. You know, like he was like wanted to put a beanie on his fucking head and spin the little fucking helicopter.
I liked his performance, but it didn't fit what I know of the character.
I almost wonder if it would have been better. Who's that Nightwing villain, the pig guy? And he's, you know, like if they would have gone something like that route.
The pig guy, the old.
He wears like the old like the pig face,
Professor Pig.
Yeah.
He's the medical doctor. He's from the old Batman stuff. Yeah.
I almost wonder if they would have done that
because he always had has the frog guy with him.
And if they would have gone that route with just Birds of Prey, you know, or like I don't know,
because I could see them working with Zaz and that would work.
Yeah, or that. I don't know what the answer is to this movie. I don't think. I would say that the marketing, the trailers, they're very indicative of the movie.
Yeah.
Where that you don't know what it is. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I walked in not knowing what to expect. I said, I know
it's not good.
I know,
but I don't know what it is.
What'd you think of how they did Zaz's scars?
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. Like,
I don't like it as much, but
yeah, I prefer.
I guess it makes sense.
I prefer how they did it. So here's another thing while we're on Zaz, and like I said, I can see how he makes sense in that universe. The Zaz in Batman Begins far more terrifying in those 20 seconds than this Zaz is at any point during the film.
The Zaz in Gotham, the show, is far more terrifying than this guy.
Tenet, once again, is the best thing I saw tonight.
The trailer for Tenet, yeah. It shows like the first 18 seconds or the first 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
I can't wait to see that movie. I want to know what it's about.
I have no idea what it's about.
But I've seen the other trailers of it, and it has something to do with reversing time and something. But
it looks amazing.
Yeah, I was like, it's that, and it's Nolan. So I was like, I got to see that in theater. It's going to be great.
They should stop putting that at the beginning of mediocre movies.
Yeah, because it makes you
the
movie is so lackluster.
Put that shit at the beginning of Irishman or The Joker.
Yeah.
Don't put that shit at the beginning of this or Rise of Skywalker. Oh, dude, this is how.
Bobby's beside himself.
So, like, my question is, like, Wonder Woman better be fucking great,
dude. I have high expectations for that movie.
Because if it's not,
where are they going to go next?
Where do they got to start over? Like, they just got to start over. And they should just start with Batman and world build Gotham for like 5 years. Hint at some other stuff.
Yeah.
Hint at an alien, rumors of an alien. Hint at some green energy somewhere.
Well, they're already talking about Green Lantern stuff. So
hint at some shit. But just build Gotham. If you get people to buy into Gotham,
you can get them to buy.
They'll buy into everything.
Batman is the gateway.
It's Batman is the key. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to say about this thing. I was pretty much confused from the. Side note, the couple that sat next to us. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So there was a couple that sat like three chairs down. They were talking the entire time and on their phone. And I was just getting ready to get up and walk over there. I kept looking over there, and his girlfriend kept looking at me. And then they got up and left. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's true.
Like 15 minutes in, they just got up and left the movie theater. Like, I don't know if they just came to get a bite, and they're like, "Oh, let's watch the first fucking 10 minutes of this dumbass fucking movie." They're the smart ones, you ask me. I mean, they were fucking they were talking a bunch of shit, and they were obnoxious and rude, but they made the right decision ultimately.
They left
at the end of the day. It's a shame. It's a shame because a lot of these roles are so wonderfully casted. Henry Cavill is the perfect Superman. Gal Gadot is the perfect Wonder Woman. Yeah. Margot Robbie is the perfect Harley. Yeah. Montoya is the perfect older, Rosie Perez. Yeah. Like, there's so many perfectly casted roles in this shit. Mm-hmm. Far more perfect, in my opinion, than anything else I've ever seen.
Okay.
But they just can't get right.
They can't get the writing right.
Did you ever see Life? Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence
way
they got locked up.
Way back in the day.
And Bokeem Woodbine was the, I believe they called it touched in those days, gentleman. Mm-hmm. But he was a hell of a baseball player. Like, he could hit the ball, like and they used to call him "Can't Get Right." That's what DC Universe is. The Bokeem Woodbine of life. Yeah, it's hurt. It sucks. It sucks for me, man, as a DC fan.
You're more of a DC fan than I am.
Sure,
I'm a big Batman fan, but I'm not. I like a lot of DC stuff, but not everything.
And it's disheartening. I don't know how I don't know how much more disappointment I can take. Everywhere.
Wonder Woman's coming up later this year.
I've had disappointment in Star Wars recently, disappointment in DC recently. Disappointment in Marvel recently. Like, and I asked myself, because Gist got I just listened to Gist talk to Intex for 3 hours on Fresh Communications.
Okay.
And they were complaining about The Irishman. They have issues with The Irishman.
Okay.
And one of the issues that Intex brought up is an issue that I have. There's one fight scene in there where they de-age Robert De Niro, but he still looks like an old man fighting. But I think that's another reason why I love The Irishman so much is because I just forgot what good movies taste like.
Go see 1917 or The Gentleman.
Yeah, so I'm not going to go to the movie. I'm not going to go to the movie theater to see either one of those, but I will see both.
Both those are way more worth your time than this was.
I will. No, of course, but I don't.
They're excellent.
It's not this though.
I know.
I do want to see, the Hollywood movie, the Tarantino Hollywood movie, and
that's out on DVD. You should rent it.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch of movies that are on my list. It's just like, they're not on Netflix, Phil. We don't need DVDs anymore, Phil. It's streaming. You just stream it all, Phil. It's all ready to be streamed. It's a streaming world.
Well, you can pay for it on streaming if you want.
And nobody wants to be my Blu-ray bud.
Hey, I don't have that on Blu-ray. Sorry.
I need to buy it. I don't want to buy it though. I want to just watch it, but I'm just tired.
That's not one I need to buy.
We should have never got rid of the Netflix DVD service.
You can Redbox stuff, dude.
Yeah, but
Redbox
says take it back. Who can be bothered? I don't even know where our closest Redbox is, honestly. Like from our house, like that's the thing. It's like we don't have. I don't think we have a convenient one.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Don't you have one at the Food Line?
I don't think so.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That's bad.
Yeah, we might have one at the CVS, but I'm not even sure
You're
about
in the middle
that.
of the boonies, man. You're in no man's land.
Yeah, dude, I'm making too much money, man.
That's why you got.
But you can still get
Dude,
Popeye's.
you got to
chicken.
build up a compound. Then we can have a red box at the compound.
Look, I live in an upper middle class neighborhood, and I never thought I'd be able to afford a house like this growing up. You know,
I still can't.
And I couldn't either if I didn't have my wife. You know, it was both of us working
you guys
together.
are both in together,
right?
So. I wish I could live here. It'd be cool.
But yeah, but it's a nice neighborhood.
It is.
But what's crazy is like I feel like the shopping center doesn't match the clientele.
It doesn't.
It doesn't, right?
I think this is too new of an area and it hasn't built up yet. Like if you go like a few miles down to Frederick, it's way more built up.
Right.
But you're in between Frederick and where I'm at.
Right.
So it's too new.
But
like,
it's
you have a nice neighborhood here, but it's pretty much brand new.
Yeah, but they've built a bunch of new shit since we've been here, but it's
okay.
all like truck stop shit.
Oh,
like,
okay.
You know, like
that's because 70 is right by your fucking door, and
correct.
70 is a major truck haul.
So they had a McDonald's.
And they got rid of it?
No, it's still there.
Okay.
But that's all they had, really. They had the shopping center and the McDonald's.
McDonald's should have Redbox. Every
does it?
Every McDonald's has a Redbox. They have a contract.
Oh, okay.
That's where Redbox started.
I didn't know that.
McDonald's.
So they had a McDonald's and a gas station. And then across the street, they had a gas station and that little shopping center, which is like there's a sub shop, dry cleaners, like, you know, your standard shit. And there's a Domino's in there, Domino's Pizza.
Okay.
And then they built a fucking Burger King. And then they built a fucking Popeyes. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like, and don't get me wrong, I'll fuck some Popeyes up all day.
Yeah.
But
they don't have do they have any sit-down restaurant anywhere?
I just learned some shit about Popeyes recently. I'll tell you here in a second. But like, I feel like if it was me, right, and I was developing shit for that, I'd be like, man, put some Panera Breads in there.
Yeah.
Put some, you know, like that's the clientele I would think. You know, Chick-fil-A in there. Interesting thing about Popeyes. So, and I don't know if this is true. So I might just be, this might be drunk facts. But I was listening to a Lil Wayne interview that he did. He doesn't do many interviews, but he did like a 3-hour interview with Noriega.
3 hour, dang!
And I listened to it.
He's making up for lost time.
And he was talking about Popeyes, and because you know it's the Louisiana thing.
Okay.
And he said that the guy who started Popeyes was the son, I believe, of like a plantation that had slaves and all of this stuff, and there were black women that were basically nannies. You know, I mean, they were not, you know, they were slaves, but they were nannies for him, but they were cooks. And he would watch the way that they prepared chicken, and he used that
to start a Popeyes business.
A
chicken business.
And he made a point to start it because he like went out on his own and everything. But when he decided to start it, he came back to Louisiana to start it in Louisiana.
To keep it Louisiana kitchen,
yep.
Which is what it's changed to now.
Yep.
Okay.
But anyway, I just thought that was an interesting piece of trivia. I don't know if it's true, but Lil Wayne said it. I mean, he does a lot of drugs, that guy. So it may be all bullshit. But I liked it. I liked the story. You know, I mean, it was a sad, tragic story, but there's some beauty to it as well. Some tragic.
It's interesting. I don't think I've ever heard that.
All right. So, do you recommend people see this movie in the theater?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Wait for DVD. Wait for Redbox. We'll get it at McDonald's.
Yeah.
See ya.